cool. They can hear me. And can you hear Roscoe?
Can you hear me now? Am I crisp and tasty? There we go. I got a yes. There we go. And you can hear, can you hear Pagan now?
Hey, ready?
You can hear me. Good. And you can hear Pagan. How delightful. We did it!
Nice. We did
it!
Yeah.
Oh, man. What a mess. Oh, that's too funny.
It's been great. We're doing really well.
Oh, yeah, we're killing it.
Yeah, killing it. Killing the game over here. It is what it is, you know?
So welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Twitch. Your people like couch soup eaters, or are they Paganites?
I actually don't know. We don't really have a name for my Twitch community. I feel like they wanted to call themselves pagans, I think, or players at one point. But I don't mind. Couch soup is a different thing. Like couch soup is something that I work for, and Pagan Plays is like my own branding. And it's my real name, but like the plays part is obviously not.
Yeah, okay.
it's just alliteration, okay?
Okay.
Somebody asked me that before, and they were like, "Oh my god, and your full name is Pagan Plays? That's crazy." I was like, "No,
well, no, not exactly.
that would be crazy."
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's it's my first name, but the rest is just alliteration.
Well, I think it's pretty awesome because, I mean, as I'm sure you hear all the time, you are the only person I've ever met on the planet named Pagan, which I think is pretty awesome.
Thank you. Yes, I also agree that it is fairly awesome.
Well, you're biased.
It's a good name. It's a good, it's a good, I'm biased. Yeah, it's a good name.
So sorry that we're running late, everybody. As you can expect, I am the absolute king of chaos, and poor Pagan has been trying to like toddler handhold me through this whole fiasco, and she's been so good. She's like, "No, it's fine. You're good. You're fine." And I'm like, "I'm so scared," but she's great.
Not at all. This has been fun. Yeah, no. This is fun. I've got both chats open, so this is going to be real hecka confusing for me, but it's all good.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm not touching any buttons. I was about to try. There's no way. Nope, I'm not touching anything.
Yeah. So I got, this is it's a fun time over here. It's a fun time, you know what I mean?
So I figure I had to sit down with you because like it was really interesting. I mean, to me anyway, how we kind of came into the circle. We met each other essentially. So I figured I'd reach out to you. Let's just sit down and have a chat. We'll have a drink, even though you're still coming down from the tri-channel
from a party. Yeah, I did tri-channel party last night. Yeah.
And then, are you already going?
It's my drink, bro. It's my drink.
Dude, I gotta catch up.
Actually, you know what? I have like the dregs of coffee left on.
Okay, there you go. Tastes like an ashtray. Now that's just me. Never mind.
Nice.
All right, you get a little. I figure we give it an hour, we have a little chat and just get to know each other.
My chat
a little
is the
bit.
same. They were saying, "What is the plan for today's stream?" There's no plan.
You're looking at
it. This is just a chill catch up, get to know you chat. Roscoe slid into the DMs and was like, "Hey, I want to chat," and I was like, "Bro, let's go."
That's how it went.
So now we're chatting. Yeah. So that's how that started.
So can I ask, for those of you that don't know, the way that we kind of came to be, I suppose, was Gamers Outreach was doing a charity event, Gamers for Giving 2023. And I was in the middle of my live stream, and then all of a sudden the chat kind of exploded with everybody saying Pagan, and I didn't know what was going on. So all of a sudden people say, "Oh, Pagan Plays, Pagan." So you kind of slid over. So let me ask, how did that? Did you type couch or?
No, they said Roscoe's streaming, so I was like, all right, cool, let's go raid Roscoe.
So was that at the end of your stream or like middle of it? Okay.
Yeah, it was at the end of my stream, and then I was like, okay. So I assume then you're not quite familiar with Twitch streaming.
No, I'm a complete bozo. Expect
All
nothing.
good. No, all good, all good. So a Twitch raid is when you send your viewers and your community over to another streamer at the end of your stream, so that your stream is basically ending. So you're sending everybody else to go and like watch somebody else's stream.
Okay.
And then your stream ends. So that's essentially what a raid is. And they can be kind of like random at times. They can feel a little weird because some people have raid messages that they'll like copy and paste, so it looks a whole lot of spam or something.
Gotcha.
That happened to me in my very first like big raid. Somebody raided me with like 60 people, and they just spammed my chat with like an odd raid message that I was like, this looks like spam. This is like bots. And at the time, bots were like really, like just really going at it all over Twitch. Like they really were just raiding in randomly and saying some random shit. So we blocked them all.
Nice.
And then the creator was like, "Hey, I raided you," and I was like. Like it was my first ever raid. I'm so sorry. Like your message was kind of weird and I didn't know. And they're like, it's fine.
You got to play it safe though. You don't know who's coming in, what they're up to. Everybody's sneaky.
Literally. Yeah. So that's weird.
So they just said Roscoe's streaming and you're like, yeah, I'll go bother this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, it was more, my chat was just like, hey, Roscoe's streaming. And I was like, perfect.
Because I'm done.
Let's sneak in.
Yep. So technically,
nobody tell him.
You slid into my DMs first.
I slid into your Twitch community.
Okay,
I slid
fair
into
enough.
Your Twitch.
Yeah, that's true.
I harassed you live.
Yeah, which is the worst because now I have to recover live.
Yeah. You have to recover live. It's pretty great. Also, your chat is lovely. Somebody said John Ree's Lives sent us over to Pagan Plays one night and it was a raid. Yes. So like again, like Got Games. I don't know if you're familiar with Luke. Luke and John, and they also stream on Twitch. So sometimes if we happen to be streaming at the same time, we'll send our communities over to each other because it's the same kind of community. We're all like reactions and K-pop and good people, good vibes.
That's
it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good overlap.
I have to say, it's always nice to send your community over to someone you know is good vibes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you can send it random, and sometimes we do that. Like we'll pick a random streamer and like just raid them, and the vibes might just be so off, and you're like, oh,
weird.
This is unfortunate.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
See,
yeah, it was good vibes.
Doing that.
Happy to share mine with you.
Cool.
Yeah, you should.
And so, like,
I have to say, like, I think that Twitch is probably better for live streaming, in my opinion. YouTube are getting there though. They really are like trying to implement quite a lot of things, and there's some really good mod applications that you can apply to YouTube that make them almost similar to Twitch. I think Ludwig has a brand. But I don't stream on YouTube because of the copyright.
Yeah, I've been struggling with that.
Yeah, they'll strike you straight on YouTube, whereas at least on Twitch, you have like chances for DMCA and all this kind of stuff, and they're just a lot more loose about it.
Okay. So when you do your Twitch streams, do you leave them public after they're done?
Okay. Yes, but because of DMCA, a lot of the time the reactions that we're doing on stream will probably be muted. Right. So when the stream goes up afterwards, there'll be a section that's muted, which is unfortunate. But then I usually try and record as many streams as possible, and I might put them up to Patreon, but so like some of the times I just don't have time, and also like the service here, like the internet service isn't that great, so it takes like fucking 12 hours to upload a 3 hour stream.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's probably not going to be great for me. And part of me is just like, you know what, if you want the experience, like you could join live. And I know that sometimes my time zone doesn't suit everybody, but it just kind of is what it is. I don't always promise that I'll just re-upload them. It's more like let's all experience this together now in the moment. Yeah,
and I feel like that's the best thing. Like I know people get a lot out of, you know, like the cuts that we put out. Like this was a video, we cut it out of the live stream, we put it out so people can find it easier. Like I get that. But for me, the best experience is when you have the community together. Because like I always give my chat a hard time because the first like 30 minutes of a live stream is everybody saying hi to everybody else. I don't even need to be there. Right?
No. Just set it on like a starting soon. Put up some really good music. I always use there's a oh god, what's his name? Oh, sorry, I'm blanking on it now. Do piano in the background because he does BTS piano collection, and it's just BTS songs by piano. Really? And it's lovely. And then you can set that up as you're like starting soon. And I have it now. Like I can activate it for my Twitch chat, but because it's desktop audio, you're also coming through desktop audio, I think. Gotcha.
So. Okay.
Oh no, actually, you probably wouldn't be because we have a single line audio now because you're not technically desktop audio. It's great. So yeah.
Decent. Yeah, and I've got like some lo-fi stuff that I play. It's BTS lo-fi, or I'll throw Bicycle on repeat for like 30 times straight and drive people crazy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's nice, and it's just something in the background. There's also no copyright issue there because I don't think Do Piano is going to mind, and I always share his links and stuff like that, or her links. I don't know, their links.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're always it's a good time, good background music.
Yeah, I dig it. And that's something I feel like I could get better about, is giving a little more atmosphere to the crew, you know, a little experience, a little atmosphere. But, you know, I've been doing this for just slightly over a year now, but I feel like you've probably been doing this a little bit longer.
Well, reacting on YouTube, like my actual YouTube reactions kicked off with K-pop, and that was a year ago, almost a year ago. But live streaming on Twitch, I've probably been doing since 2019 or 2020.
Okay.
But on and off, like I just have I have a very busy lifestyle, and I take on an awful lot of stuff. I have a very hard time saying no.
I get it.
So yeah, so I do a lot, and I try and stream as much as possible. But unfortunately, I can't always guarantee that I'm going to be live every Tuesday, for example.
Right.
So I go live when I can. I upload when I can.
Yeah.
It's chaotic, but it works.
Yeah, and I tried the schedule thing. Like, oh man, there was a point last year where I was like, Monday night was what's it called? Rise of Bangtan. And then Tuesday night was something else. And Wednesday was, and Friday, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, life happens.
Yeah, it really does. And I think it's just sometimes it's just not achievable for everybody, and that's okay. Like I don't love creators that are like, it's possible, and I'm like, because it isn't. Like, sometimes I mean, it's a privilege that it's possible. For some people, you know, and there are people who are like, oh, you know, they can stay up until like 4 a.m. and do all the content. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like so proud of you, and I'm like jealous that you can do that. It's just not possible for me.
Yeah.
So I think having a schedule is probably necessary for like success, etc. But at the same time, you only just do what you can. You just can't burn out with your stuff like this, you know?
Oh yeah, and I've been there myself pretty significantly, and actually pretty recently. Would you say that you've gone through that as well, where you've had like a period of burnout and you've had to kind of adjust what you're doing?
Yeah, unfortunately, when I started the K-pop reactions on YouTube, I burnt out so quick because I was like, oh my gosh, people like this video? Wow.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh god, people really like this video. So then I made more, and then I really liked K-pop. Like I reacted, right? And then I was like, okay, this was actually really fun. I would love to do this again. And then because people were so interested, I was like, oh, like I should probably do this again, like quickly.
Yeah.
So I started uploading daily.
Yep.
And I went from a no upload schedule to uploading daily. Yep. And each video was about 30 minutes, like 20 to 35 minutes. A 5 video reaction, usually, sometimes 4. And yeah, then I brought myself out. I had to go on holiday in like September. Was this last year? Yeah. Okay. So it was last year. I had to go on a holiday in September for 2 weeks in California. And I was like, okay, well, I need to now not only upload every day, I also need to work hard to upload and make sure that I have content for the 2 weeks that I'm away so that I don't lose my audience.
Oh, I know.
I just ended up like breaking down. I just I started crying because I had tried to schedule videos and then copyright strike this, and then this video is blocked, and this and that. And I'm like, I was starting to get so panicky that eventually when I went to Los Angeles, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm on holiday, everybody. Like I have to go on holiday.
Yep.
And it did affect my growth. It affected my channel. It affected my views. But at the same time, I was like, this isn't my full-time job. Like, this isn't what I do as an income, and I shouldn't be stressing over it. So unfortunately, yes, I'm a very big friend of burnout, and burnout is my best friend.
Yep.
And I'm still recovering from like quite a lot of burnout because, like I said, I don't say no to a lot.
Yeah, I definitely can sympathize with that. And I kind of went through something similar because like it was December of 2021, one. I can't even remember, but it was around Christmas time. I uploaded this random Beat Saber video with BTS, and people started saying like, "Oh, you should check out their stuff and react to it," which I didn't even know what that meant. So I did it, and just like you, that first video just flew, and within 4 weeks, it was like 10,000 subscribers out of nowhere, and that
literally,
literally. So it's terrifying. And somebody in chat had said, like, you do that and you create this expectation, and then that becomes the bar that you feel like if you don't keep up with it, it's all going to fall apart.
Yeah. Oh my God, 1,000%. And I totally agree. Like, I think my first video was like 25th of June or something like that. And then by like the 10th of September, I'd grown to like 20,000 followers from 400.
Wow.
And I think like fucking insane.
Yeah.
And the problem is that it quickly took over all of my reactions, that like it just became K-pop. And I'm not like disrespecting that. I absolutely adore K-pop. And that's, I think, why I continued to do it, because I liked the video I was reacting to. I reacted to Stray Kids, BTS, GOT7, all in the one video, 80s. And then I was like, shit, this is really good. I need to know more. And then I started like watching more and more. And I fell in love with it. But then it starts to take over my whole channel.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but this wasn't what I wanted for my channel. And like, I struggled so hard with that for ages, because I was like, this isn't the direction I wanted. And I'm kind of like, just go to flow, Pagan. Fucking hell. Just, just upload. Just upload whatever you want. So I'm like, I am trying to break away more often from just music reactions as well, because like I have I want to do more gaming, but I might actually start a separate channel for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to do like more. So if anybody is following me on YouTube, there will be definitely more variety coming soon. I've just done like a beauty video, and I've done like
a beauty video.
A beauty video.
Interesting.
I did like a Korean makeup video, and then I did a Korean skincare video, and that will be coming soon to my channel as well. So yeah.
That's and I tell you, I can definitely understand it becomes the weight on our shoulders, right? As the person on the screen. Like, one thing that I worried about so much was, if I change anything I'm doing, people are going to call me out for like, oh, well, you just used BTS to get this fame. And I'm like, no, it's not like there's so much great stuff out there. And, and I'm like barred from it. And it's just such a terrible feeling.
No, yeah, I agree. I feel like there are definitely things that I've learned from reacting specifically to K-pop on YouTube. And I'm probably going to do a video about it, but I think like there's definitely a very specific kind of person who is just like, you must only react to X group. And if you react to any other group, you're not their fans. And then you're like a fake fan. And then they're going to start commenting on every video you've ever published, even if it has nothing to do with BTS. Or ARMY or whoever, like Stray Kids, anything. And they'll be like, you're fake. And you're like, oh, come on. Everybody can be so diverse. Like, do you think BTS just listen to their own music?
I know. They collaborate with people, for crying out loud. They
collaborate. They have like inspirations, like, come on, man. So we're being rated.
We're being rated.
Oh my God, John's here.
Oh, Gino's here.
No way.
Gino and John.
Hi.
You guys just missed us that much. I see you guys.
Humorous. My name's Pagan. I react on YouTube. Hi. They were just like, who is she?
Got the whole family here. Who is she? Who is that?
Who is she?
That's great. The gang's
it's not a raid because it's on YouTube. So YouTube doesn't raid, unfortunately, but Twitch usually does.
Well, we consider people like John and Gino, they're raiders. They're like kicking in the door and coming in hot. They can't just sit and watch like normal people.
Someone call my name. We mentioned him earlier. That's probably why.
Yep. Whatever he was doing, he just stopped it. He put down the chainsaw and he ran to the computer.
He was like, my ears are burning. Wait a minute. I got to go check YouTube.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So you said you do some gaming streaming, which I've seen a little bit of, because admittedly, once I realized that this was going to happen and you agreed to it, which I was like, there's no way she's going to say yes. But you did.
I have a hard time saying no, Roscoe. I feel like we've established this.
Now I know that, and I'm going to take complete advantage of it. So I had to look up a couple of videos, and I saw you're playing. Man, this one game I think you're playing right now is called. Is it Bramble?
Bramble.
Yeah, that looks crazy.
Oh man, it got so dark. Oh god, I actually had to finish streaming the other night. I was streaming it, and it was getting way too late because I had to be up early in the morning for work. So I didn't even get to finish the game yet because I will finish it and then I'll edit it and put it on Couchsurfing YouTube. But oh man, that game is like, it comes with a warning. Like the game at the beginning comes with a warning. And it's like, hey, this, involves some topics of X, Y, and Z. And it also involves like gore. And I was like, oh, okay. And then that shit actually happened on stream. And I was like,
oh no.
Like, oh no. Like it's some dark stuff.
It's dark. Really.
It's real dark, but a fantastic game. Really like it. It's just like, it's probably not for the quote unquote faint hearted. It's not like a horror game, but it's definitely dealing with a lot of like infantile like gotcha. Like infantile mortality and like abortion and stuff, and I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, like that. Wow, like that got dark fast.
Yeah, you don't expect a video game to be really hitting on that kind of stuff.
You really don't. Wow. You really don't. It's a dark game. It's cool though, and I like working for Couchsurfing because I get to explore games that I probably wouldn't have before. So like that and Dead Space, I did the whole Dead Space thing. And I don't like horror games, so I don't really play horror games, but the games themselves are excellent. So if I hadn't pushed myself to do that, I wouldn't have discovered that. And it's the same with Bramble. Like somebody had shown me like the artwork and they're like, oh, you should play this. And I was like, cool. Looked like a nice cozy game. Oh, big mistake.
Gotcha. Yeah, they got you.
Big mistake. And I was like, okay, well, it's not a cozy game. So
man.
Yeah, so it's a good one though.
Nice. So,
are you a gamer yourself?
I am a gamer. As a matter of fact, I have what I call the vault over here, which is this. It's essentially like, I don't know if it's 15 or 17 consoles that are all hooked up to that TV at once.
Stop.
Yeah, it's like a fire hazard. It's really bad. I literally.
But it is a fire hazard.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just this last week I finished like a lifetime goal of reacquiring every video game I've ever owned in my entire life. And it's all
That's
right
a cool goal.
It was really cool. So as a way to celebrate that, at some point in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to pull a Pagan and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm doing what I want to do. I'm going to do a gaming stream.
Do it.
So I'm pretty excited. Have you ever played the game Journey?
Yes.
You have with the red scarf.
I sure do.
Isn't that
Did you
incredible?
see Sword of the Sea?
No.
It just got launched at PlayStation Showcase on Wednesday. So I think it's called Sword of the Sea, and it's by the same makers as of course like Journey, and yeah, it looks really, really good. It's like, it's stunning. Like visually, it's pretty much this like the same art style. Wow. The music is fantastic. Austin Wintory, I believe, is doing the soundtrack, which is great because he did that for Journey. He's so great.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I've played it before, but I thought for my first gaming stream, because I do it because like I want to do it and also interact with the community, and I know with some games that's not really possible. So I figured for my first one, the music is beautiful, the landscapes are incredible. It would probably still allow some level of interaction. I thought that might be a good start.
Yes, no, I actually agree. I think that like cozy games, and I would consider Journey to be a cozy game because there's no like confrontation or battle or anything. I think cozy games are really good for live streaming because you can interact really well with chat. I'm going to be doing more of that on my own channel or on Twitch because Twitch is great for a gaming space. I think YouTube is again coming up there, but Twitch is great. But that and also like Genshin and stuff, because Genshin is like there's some. It's not exactly cozy, but it's not exactly like super stressful. So I think that would probably be a good one too if you ever wanted to try something like that.
Okay, good to know. Yeah. I think it's funny that when you were talking earlier and you said success and you had the air quotes, right? Because like we really do all like we all have our own versions of what that looks like and what that means. Yeah,
exactly.
And it sounds like
so relative.
Had the ups and downs of trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. I'm still working on a video about like analytics for YouTube and their effect on like your mental health, because having such a strong spike of followers in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And listen, it's 20,000 followers, right? I didn't go viral overnight. I'm not like
Right.
a million. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this must have a massive effect over people who have like, who get instant viral.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to do a video about that and to talk about like how those numbers start affecting your productivity and your mental health, because again, I just like was like, oh my God, like people love it. I love it. I should do more of this. Like I should do that. And I just like went out of the way to make more videos for people. And I'm a big people pleaser.
Yep. Yeah.
So I was like, I have to just get more, and I love it. I'm enjoying it, and people are liking it because it's their suggestions and everything. But realistically, like when you take that break or when you try and do something else and the numbers start dipping, like that really does take a toll. It really does take a toll on your mental health. You start to see things like the gamification of the YouTube analytics is done in such a way that you get a high off of any time you get a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
So when you upload a video, it says like it's performing like number 1 out of the last 10 videos you've done, and it gives you like those little confetti.
Yeah.
That's pure gamification. That's trying to give you a gratification or a hit of adrenaline or something where you're like, great. So you continue to try and up your game. And unfortunately, like that can also have a negative effect, because you could put 3 hours into a documentary series that you made about Journey, and you're so in love with this, and you upload it to your channel, and your audience all came from, say, K-pop. And 2 people watch it.
It hurts.
And you're heartbroken. So I feel like it's not fair to like associate success with the numbers that YouTube is giving you. Especially maybe even at just this level. Because like it's mid, right? It's 20,000. I'm not disrespecting that at all. That's incredible to me. I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked. But yeah, I just feel like it's not my main job. I don't earn any income off this. For anybody watching right now on Twitch and YouTube, if you are unaware, I don't know how you would be unaware, but if you are unaware, no reactor reacting to any kind of music content is making money from that reaction. It's all copyrighted.
Yeah, it's all copyrighted.
No, all of it is copyrighted. We don't get any money from any of those videos. If I upload a video that's like, I'm trying some snacks, or if I'm trying like this thing, they could get monetized. But because of the little interaction on that, I probably make $2.
Yeah.
So there's just no point in like stressing yourself over this if it's not your full-time job. And for anybody who does make it their full-time job, they're earning money on different platforms. For example, like Patreon. A lot of people have their Patreons and stuff like that. And you should support them. If you like those creators, you should support them on whatever other platforms that they are monetizing on, because they literally make those reactions for free. They dedicate all of those hours, and they don't get anything from it. So
Yeah, no, touche. And I think one of the reasons that I wanted to meet you and talk to you is because I know you've run your circles. You've done this a lot longer than I have. And I do think it's important for people on the other side of the screen to kind of understand what it's like, not just from my perspective, not just from yours, but to see what is really kind of behind the whole content creation and really all the stuff that goes into it. I mean, even just community building and all that stuff is a lot.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I was talking to Luke about this from GOT Games, or GOT, GOT Games, and I will probably, if John is still here, you'll probably get a message from me as well, and Melanie reacts as well. I am working on a different video. I'm just working on a bunch of videos. I'm working on a different video that's about like things reactors don't tell you, or like like surprising things you wish you knew about reaction, or something like that on YouTube, or content creation on YouTube. So I might be like sliding in your DMs being like, hey, I want your candid opinion on whatever. And like, it can be completely anonymous, like doesn't matter. But like, there's just so much that I've learned from YouTube reactions and reacting, and a reaction community that is both really fascinating and also like, for example, I actually don't think reaction content is well respected in the creation community. Because they're just like, you're reacting to somebody else's content, and I was like, right, but that content is online, so why would people bother watch me then?
Yeah, exactly.
But they've chosen to watch mine, so
and hear your take on it.
So I think it's interesting. I don't think people know that. I don't think many people know that. I think people are just like, oh wow, look at you, you're 20,000 subscribers, and I'm like, yeah, it's really nice, but like, if you tell that to anybody, or especially somebody in the content space, they don't have as much respect for you if you said that you were like a different kind of creator.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you react to did you make reaction content before you made BTS or K-pop content? No.
Nope. That was literally my first, like, I was Googling what is a reactor? And I had no idea. And so I just kind of said, okay, well, I guess I watch this and then I just give it my opinion. I had no idea. So and that's what started it. And truth be told, the first video I watched was all request. It was Fire from BTS, and I was hooked straight off the bat.
Oh,
I was
good. That's a good first go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good first go.
The one thing that got me, scared the shit out of me, was that one thing in the beginning where Suga's walking up to the guy dressed in black that he sets on fire. And the sound cuts out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So, of course, I'm like, the sound just goosh, and then that big drop happens. Like, it doesn't look like a big deal on the video, but I lost a piece of myself that day.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go watch that. That's funny. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what killed me about those videos is that because I was like, I've done acting and production and performance and ADing, like I was doing all that kind of stuff as well. And when I was watching, I was like, yeah, that was cool. That was a practical effect. And then they did something else and they dropped the car and I was like, oh goddamn, that is a practical effect. And then there's a different video and there's like, I think it was, people in the chat will know exactly what I'm talking about. Is it Jungkook and he's sitting in a chair and then the building goes on fire? And then there's water in another video. Oh, what is that? What is that song?
Are you thinking of a video?
I'm thinking of a video, and I think chat knows exactly, so I'm going to keep watching the chat. But basically, it will be, I think it's, it is, yeah, it's Fake Love. It's Fake Love music video. So when you watch that, I was watching that being like, there's no way that's practical. Like, there's just no way they would put Jungkook right next to an explosion of fire.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Yoongi? Sorry, it's Yoongi. It's Sugar in the chair. And I was like, there's no way they would put him so close to the fire. And then I was like, oh no, that's real. And then I saw like the BTS of BTS, and like you see the clips, and I was like, oh shit, no, they were just like, let's risk it, guys.
It's worth it.
Go for it. Have the guys on standby with the fire extinguishers. It's okay. It's worth it for the shot. Everybody, take the shot.
Oh man,
so that's cool. I love that about some of the BTS videos as well. They're very, very cool with their live effects. But yeah.
Did I just cut out? I feel like there we go. It just came back up. My mic is getting mad at me.
You seemed fine on my side.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you that are watching, like Pagan's talking about practicals. Practicals in the industry space is basically something that's real. Like if you like this purple light back here, that's a practical. That means it's a real light. If it were green screen, that is not practical.
Yes,
so like
exactly.
I come from the perspective of the director because I've for my job that's what I do, and I just love breaking some of that stuff down. And it's
same.
It's
really
incredible.
Cool. The production side is so cool.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I've been saying this ever since I started reacting to them. I just don't think I've ever seen music videos done like that.
Yeah.
In
agreed.
Korean culture. Like, I just think that like, and then did you watch any of the survival shows?
For BTS?
No. Well, I mean, you know what? To be fair, like even Run BTS and stuff like that. But I'm talking more like, so like a Stray Kids survival show or a Kingdom Legendary. No. Okay. So Kingdom Legendary War would highly recommend watching that.
Okay.
BTS are not in it. They are other artists. So like iKON, The Boys, Stray Kids, ATEEZ. Okay. It's really good. But I have just never seen production done as well. Like they just, if I can go back in time and like do my life over, but still have like my same husband.
Right.
Yeah. If I could, I would learn Korean and I would go be in a production like company, a filming or production company over in Korea. I just think they're doing stuff. Sorry. I think they're doing stuff that's just so good. Like they're just so on point and they have you hooked. They know exactly how to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that anything in Korean production has just been on another level.
Oh, I totally agree. So, yeah. Hi, Angela. Yes, we are live.
It's live.
Yep.
It's
not
live
just
live.
Premiere.
Also, hey, Imagine. Hey, Kalata. Welcome in. Hey, Veronica.
Hey, Kathy. Yeah. My Pizza Hutty buddy.
Yeah, so it's interesting, but I would recommend some of those. I'm happy to share them with you in a DM because I think the survival shows were really good. Like they're so you'll just get hooked.
Yeah, I'm sure
Like,
I will. Yeah,
I'm like, shit, I want to watch it. And the episodes are long. Like, some of them are like an hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it's cool. I'm digging it. I'm going to start another one soon. It's Queendom, which is basically the same as Kingdom, but with girl groups.
Okay.
And the idea with Kingdom is like, all of these groups come together and they like it's like a battle of the bands. It's a battle of the bands for K-pop groups. And then they have to do like performances, and then sometimes you'll get a challenge where you're like, you have to pick a song from another group and perform that.
Wow.
And then they do their own spin on it and stuff like that. Like B2B's performance of Stray Kids Backdoor, I am still in love with that. Please.
See, I'm glad you clarified that, because when you said survival show, I thought you meant like the groups are
like
out
Survivor.
in the woods. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's totally up my alley. As a military guy, I'll watch them out in the woods peeing on trees and stuff. I'm good with it. I was way off.
No, yeah, to be fair, it does sound like that. It's more of a battle of the bands.
Okay.
And ultimately, like, it doesn't matter. Like, ultimately, it doesn't matter who wins, right? There's a percentage of the vote that's like fan based. There's a percentage of the vote that's like peer based, and then a percentage of the vote that's judge based, like judge. But there's some great episodes in there. Like, there's a really cool episode where they go and do like a sports day, and they get to like compete in like different activities. And I definitely recommend watching something like that. I mean, it has like Run BTS vibes, so I'm sure you'd be familiar with the kind of production that they're doing. But it's just fun. It's good crack. And it also, like, it introduced me to more groups that I didn't even know about. Like iKON, for example. Have you heard the song Love Scenario?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if you ever do, that song will be with you till you die. Like, that song is so addictive, it got banned in Korean schools.
What? Shut up.
No, I'm not even joking.
Shut up.
It's so good.
Banned in Korea? What?
It was banned. Yeah. So I was like, that is insane, because I will just walk around my house and I will randomly sing that song. And I'm like, how is this still with me? How is this still here?
Oh, so it's called Love Scenario. And who's it by?
Love Scenario. iKON. IKON.
I'm afraid to hear it now.
It's very good. It's very good.
Okay. I'd have to. I'm gonna have
see,
to.
Chat
You're
knows.
already teasing.
Chat knows. It's a great song, and they're a great group. And one of the rappers in that group is his name's Bobby. He's from America, so he's American Korean, and he has a great song called "You Mad," you as in like you, and mad, and that is one of the best songs that I have reacted to in the whole year. Just, it's one of my favorite top songs that anytime I'm like in a mood, or if I'm angry or anything like that, I put that song and I'm like, fuck, that's good. It's so good. It's all in Korean. It's Korean rap. But he's an American Korean artist. So.
Okay. Oh, that's going to be a disaster. See, I'm already the kind of person that when I'm asleep, as soon as I realize I'm awake, I've got a song in my head.
Oh, really?
Immediate. Oh, it's the worst. So if this is going to be with me until I die, I'm coming back, Pagan.
I swear to you, till you die. There's a few of those songs that have like stuck with me throughout the things, and you know what? It's usually songs that are like by groups that I really like. So like Stray Kids or ATEEZ or BTS or like anybody, right? Cool.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. This song, I don't think I'd ever really heard of iKON before. Then they put this, and I was like, well, I'm stuck with that. Like, it's just the song itself is so good. iKON are amazing, and they're very well revered band among like everybody in K-pop. They're one of like the OGs, I guess.
Okay.
So they're very much revered.
Okay.
But yeah, great song.
Love Scenario. Oh, man, I'm gonna curse you. I can tell.
I'll send
already.
you a list. Anything we've discussed today, I will send you a list.
I appreciate it. Hey, Lulu. Oh, my head couch cushion just came in.
Oh, nice. Hey, Lulu. Hey, Scott. Welcome into my chat. How are you?
All kinds.
I'm
of
having a good
beautiful
weekend.
faces. That's awesome. Missed my people.
Yeah, I'll have to send you like anything I've mentioned. You know what? I'll just type it into Twitter so that I don't forget. As we go, I'll just be like, this song and this song and this song.
I'm gonna have homework after talking to.
You will have homework. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this is awesome.
What was the other one I said? Oh, Bobby.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
And
fuck
see, and
off. That's such a good song. I can't.
I can see it affecting you.
Man, if you're in the gym and you need to lift something, I swear to God, put that song on.
The
you
house.
will fucking lift it. Yeah, you'll just lift the house. You lift all the weights. The weights will beg you to stop. That is what I'm saying. Yeah,
oh man,
so good. Okay.
That's what I need. I just need some motivation. So when I go play kickball, I'll just ruin everybody.
Jay has asked me if I'm familiar with Dimash. No, but it has been recommended to me, so I am going to be reacting to that soon.
Yeah. Do you already have like a little list or whatever of Dimash?
I assume so. I have a post on my community chat right now that is basically recommending anything that's outside of the world of K-pop that people want me to react to.
Gotcha.
And Dimash is like one of the most recommended people in that comments, and I think there's a few songs in there that are repeated with other people. So I'm like, okay, well, it's clearly gonna be that song. But yeah, if you got any recs, you can send them to me.
Okay. And have you checked out 1OK Rock yet?
Hey, Lakadin. Yes. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I cried.
I know.
I cried.
Yeah.
Man, that's fucking incredible. And the thing is, like, Linkin Park are my favorite band of all time.
Oh, that makes sense.
I didn't know. I had no idea that 1OK Rock was going to tour with them. I had no idea that they'd met them.
Yep.
I had no idea they'd covered their songs. I didn't know anything about 1OK Rock. And then I watched, I think Save Yourself was the first one I watched, and then Renegades. So great. And then I watched a live of We Are. And I was like, well, I'm in tears.
I'm done.
And and then the most recent one I reacted to was Take What You Want.
There
and they have
is.
A minute silence.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
And I had no idea it was for Chester, but I was like, like I'm a baby when that shit comes on, and I'm like, I just loved like my biggest regret is never seeing Chester live, and I'm such an idiot for not seeing him live. But anyway, so when he's singing, I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy is just insane, and I didn't know that he performed at the Memorial because I watched that concert. I watched the Memorial concert for Linkin Park and for Chester, and I didn't know that he came on and sang a song. And I just like it just never occurred to me that was him.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So 1OK Rock, yes, I absolutely do know them. They are amazing.
Yeah. Taka is the front man, and when I saw him go out there, because the first one that I saw, which was actually recommended to me by John, was Take What You Want, and I didn't know what to expect. It was my first foray out of K-pop, where I let all my moderators say, "Hey, I'll give you one chance outside of everything, just blow my mind." And that's what John came up with. And I cried. It was so moving to see the audience, to see Taka playing, and you can see it in his face. Oh, yeah.
You can feel it. His emotion changes so quickly from sadness to anger. It's insane. Yeah. Like during the minute silence, right? He's super sad, and then he like starts singing the first I guess lyrics into the new change, like into the key change almost. Yep. And oh my God, he just changes so quickly to anger, and I was like, oh, it's angry. Oh yeah, I'm so sad.
You could see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so
like, who hurt you, Taka? I will.
I just want to talk.
Yeah, I just listen. Don't just whisper it to me. Yeah. It's okay. Like, don't worry about what happens with that information.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah. You leave it to me. I'll take care of it.
So when you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, have you heard Sleep Token?
No.
All right.
This is a band or a song?
It is a band.
Okay.
I will recommend the first one that I saw, which was called Alkaline. That is not how you spell alkaline. Sorry. I'm writing you the list. So Sleep Token are incredible. I've heard a few of their songs from their previous album because my husband introduced them to me. And then they just dropped a new album. And I reacted to a song called Ascensionism, and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking good. And everyone's like, you should react to the full album. And then my husband was like, no, you need to react to all 3 albums because it's a trilogy. Okay. And I was like, fair. Okay. So that's going to happen on a stream sometime soon.
So it hasn't happened yet.
When I have time. It hasn't happened yet. No, it hasn't happened yet. But the songs that I know from the previous album, there's a few of them. There's like Chokehold, which is so good. Alkaline. There's, I think it's at Atlantica or something like that. Just incredible. I can't describe their music to you. You must just watch it.
Okay. I love that.
Or
No
listen to it.
spoilers.
No spoiler, nothing.
it.
I'll just, yeah.
That's awesome.
So I will just put you in that direction.
And Alkaline is where I start.
I really do like, yes. Only because that's a song that I started with, was Alkaline.
If it worked for you, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Calathra in chat in my Twitch is also a Sleep Token fan. What do you think? I think Alkaline's a good start. The Summoning from the new album is very good. And oh wait, no, I haven't seen this. That's from the brand new album. Then I haven't seen that one. I've heard the opening on the previous album, and Chokehold is a great one too.
Trisha,
but you'll see. Like, I'm just gonna give it to you, and you may do with that what you will, and then you can go down the sleep token rabbit hole.
There's so many rabbit holes to go down. My life is slipping away from me. Yeah,
it's really dark in here. Huh? Look, a new song.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yep, and all these little wormholes of different artists and art. There's so much good stuff. I love it.
So much good stuff.
Yeah. And who is it? Trisha just said she loves watching people geek out about music. I tell you what, Chad, if you can't tell, like when I reached out to Pagan, I was like, hey, let's just sit down and chat. I just want to have a conversation. There's no interview questions. There's no agenda. It's if you can't tell, this is literally as organic as it gets. It's just two people talking.
Yeah. It's chill. It's very candid.
Yeah.
It's a candid conversation.
I dig it. You seem like good people. I hang out with good people. I like it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's good to meet good people. There's some people that aren't so good. So it's nice to meet the good ones.
Yeah. I mean, some of the, and that's the thing, like one of the things that I appreciate, like with us doing what we do, like not just reacting, but like you understand the behind the scenes stuff, the production aspect. Me as a director, and I see a lot of the practicals and all the little tricks and stuff. Yes. A lot of times something will happen in a video that I lose my shit over. And I know that nobody else gets it. And I have to be like, okay, let me explain what you just saw. Because otherwise, if you don't get it, it looks like I'm completely full of shit and I'm just making a big production. Right. So I always have to go back and be like, hold on. This looks like a simple shot. No, here's what they did. And I love it so much.
Is there anything in particular that like that makes you do that like every time? So like if they do something like is there one particular thing that's like, you know what, it's a transition, or you know what, like it's a well, because for me it's two things. Okay. Like rain, like anytime there's rain effects. Okay. Because it's just fucking hard to work in rain effects. So I'm like, I appreciate that you have gone through the shit to get us this video. Yeah. Right? Because rain work is just so hard, and it's cold, and people are starving, and everything is fucking wet. Yeah. And it's not fun, right? But it looks sick. Yeah. So rain, it gets me, and then good transition. Yes. Like if they nail transition, it fucking kills me. And what kills me more is they do this shit live in concert. Yeah. Like the live directing in a Korean like K-pop concert is like my dream job. Oh, I would kill to do that. And the direction and the cuts are so good. So good. Yeah. I can't. So I feel like those two things for me are usually something in particular. Like if you chuck rain in a video, automatically I'm like, oh my god, I love this video. And if you have a really sick transition, you got a really sick swipe or something, like when the camera moves with you and stuff, love that.
Have you seen, on that note, have you seen Thunderous by Stray Kids?
I sure have. Yeah, what a video. So well directed.
Oh my god. Yeah. See, I didn't know, like I made a mistake. You know how you deprive someone of food for long enough, if you give them a big table of food, they're gonna lose their damn mind and just Fair. That's what I did. I was so engrossed in BTS and only BTS for so long that once I kind of creeped the door open, I went through that thing like a football player. And so many artists, so little time. And I finally hit Stray Kids. I got some tastes. I liked it. And then I saw Thunderous and these transitions.
What a video.
Whoa.
It's one of their best produced videos for sure, for 1,000%. And then the level of production that they went through as well, like when they're at that like palace and stuff, they have an amazing costume change there. The actors in the background as well, and then they've got like fire effects and everything like that as well. I just think like, damn.
Yeah, it was so good, and that's what I said. I said this is so like well done, like even the whip pans and all. Oh, so good.
It's an excellent one. I also really love the animated effects as well. I think they do really well in JYP in general, but mostly with Stray Kids. I have also seen this with NMIX as well. But with their animated effects, they look like cartoon/comic book based.
Yeah.
Because of their new comeback, we're kind of like, oh, I feel like we know why now. But also, one of your chat, Georgia, was like, lol, has Pagan seen a Stray Kids video? Yeah, so like your reactions with BTS would probably be akin to mine with Stray Kids.
Okay.
I've reacted to quite a lot of Stray Kids content. Yeah. I've not reacted to quite a lot of their reality TV content, which is probably something that I should do more of. I just haven't had the time.
Yeah.
But I was sunk into the deep rabbit hole that is Stray Kids from Maniac. I started with Maniac and then I went into God's Menu, and it was just a downward spiral from there with a lot of money spent.
Yeah, I've been hearing God's Menu nonstop for a couple of weeks now. I haven't seen it yet. What am I waiting for? Right? Are you new?
How are you alive?
I know. Yeah.
You know what? It's a really good music video.
Okay.
It's not as good as Thunderous, I will say, and it's not as good probably as Maniac in terms of like the music video.
Okay.
It's a great music video, but the song is the fucking shit.
As far as like catchiness and musicality,
Very
everything.
good. Yeah, all of it, and it's so interesting because you can't translate that to English. It just sounds fucked up because it's talking about like Stray Kids as something that you can consume, as something that you can eat.
Okay.
So now you've got a taste in the menu, and it's something like somebody did try and translate it to English and like failed miserably.
It just didn't work.
It just doesn't work, and it's just one of those songs that is just so hard hitting.
Yeah.
I think you will really like it.
Okay.
It's very good.
God's Menu.
God's Menu. Yes, please, sir. Yes, please.
Okay.
They have some great ones. You know what? I actually think that there's some good ones that you should react to in they're called one takes or first take.
Okay.
Is it called first take? First take is basically for the Japanese songs usually. And it is them just live. They sing live. And it's not just like Stray Kids. There's quite a lot of people on the first take. And it is a YouTube channel. I'll link you that too. It's really, really cool. And they all just sing live. Like the song is live produced.
Wow. Okay.
And it's their first take, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So they all do it in one take, and it's fantastic. And honestly, like there's so many artists on that channel. It's definitely worth checking out. It's just really impressive. So I'll put that in there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
First take.
I just got my first exposure to Killing Voice the other day.
Oh, I've never tried that. Everybody keeps recommending that to me.
Yeah. I only have one under my belt, and it was Mamamoo. And
I love Mamamoo.
God.
Hwasa's killing me, man. Oh my God, how is she real?
Yeah.
I love that woman so much.
That's exactly what I'm going through right now. Yeah, so matter of fact, is Gino here? I see Gino's a little jealous.
Oh.
So Gino is my side chick, DJ Gino.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he gets a little upset when I'm having conversations with other people.
Says everyone lol. Yeah, totally true, Jojo.
Yeah,
totally
the effect.
True. I went to Music Bank in Paris, and Hwasa like came down the stairs and was like 15 feet away from me. And I was like, I just don't understand how you're like a real person.
Yeah.
She's so beautiful.
I would have put that on my CV. I was 15 feet away from
Mamamoo in Paris.
Oh, man.
She's so nice. She's so cool. I love her.
Yeah, I'm blown away. So much stuff lately has been blowing my mind, and that Killing Voice was one of them. You know, you get these little flavors and tastes of each song, and I get to kind of learn each individual person a little bit and see what they're capable of, because the voices are so prominent, you know, and you'll see. Right. I don't want to give you too much information. But.
I want to watch it. Some people have been recommending that to me for ages, so I will have to check that out. There's also a lot of people who recommend Studio Choom. Do you get that recommendation a lot?
Yes, but I didn't start getting it until I watched, I think it was Jimin Set Me Free Part 2 on Studio. Oh my God. And here's the thing. it's dance studio or choreography. Like the lighting, it's great.
It's
You'll
incredible.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's so well and great. Yeah. So I've watched Studio Choom for like Hyunjin and for Uyang from ATEEZ. Do you like ATEEZ? Do you react to ATEEZ at all?
I think I've only done a couple, and I did like what I saw.
Okay.
Like a Gorilla was the first one, I think.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, no, they have a comeback coming as well. But I've reacted to something for there as well, and they're just really talented dancers. So
yeah.
I always love Studio Chooms. I'm very much like I love contemporary dance and choreography, so that's why like Jimin would be my bias because I think his dance skills are just fucking so
impeccable.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah,
so beautiful, so beautiful. And then obviously Dance Racha in Stray Kids, and I just think like they're just so good that when it's in that environment with Studio Choom, the way it's filmed is just excellent. Like because there's nothing really for you to focus on except for those. But they also have really sick transitions. There's one particular with Hyunjin's Studio Choom, and he has like almost a costume change.
Okay.
And there's a transition during the choreography, and it's very good.
But it's not cut though, right? Or is it?
Oh no, it's cut. It's cut.
Okay.
It's a full cut, but it's done so well that you do notice, but like you're not mad about it. You're actually impressed. You're like, oh shit, that was pretty good. Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
And I think for me, what ends up getting me the most, what I get mind blown over, like I definitely appreciate the choreography, the dancing, but for me, it's the symbolism and the storytelling that happens within these music videos or within the lyrics themselves, where when I realize how many layers there are, I'm done.
Yeah. Oh man, Spring Day, I was crying. It was so sad. Actually, what was great is I didn't know the story behind Spring Day.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched like the breakdown on that. But I was watching the Spring Day music video, and it was when I was watching it, and then I usually go back. I don't know if this is your method too. So I watched the music video, and then I go back and like check out different parts and like, oh yeah, do you remember this and that and like this and that? And it was during that that I was like, oh, I'm gonna go like and like read this back in, and I was like, but it's so like it's such a sad song, but it seems like almost hopeful in a way, and I was like, it's so strange because it does feel like something sad. I was like, maybe it's about somebody like who left somebody else, and then I was like, oh my god, is it about grief?
Right.
And then I had to stop filming, and my husband came in because he heard me crying.
Wow.
And he was like, are you okay? Because my grandmother had just passed away in May last year.
I'm sorry.
And I was reacting to the song like June, July.
Wow.
And I also had like my aunt who I was very close with, like a second mom, and she passed away in 2019. And I was just so caught up in it. And it's so funny because I didn't know any sort of context behind the song. I was just reacting to the song and the lyrics. And then I was like, oh my God, BTS are something else. Like they're just something else.
Yeah.
They transcend the language barrier.
Absolutely. I had the exact same reaction where I guess I want to say it's a mistake, but I honestly, I think this is one of the things that I've enjoyed most about my journey is that I don't want any context to anything.
Same.
I want to watch it and I want to see what I'm meant to get from that.
Yeah,
so,
same.
Spring Day, I had no idea. And I watched it and I got the grief, but for me, it was more about someone taking their own.
Oh, choice. Interesting. Yeah, okay.
And I've had experiences with that in my own life, and it wrecked me. And I mean, I was a mess. And still to this day, it is one of the few songs that 99% of the times I have to skip because it still gets me. You. And I get the hope behind it, but it's tough.
Yeah, there's a hopefulness behind the tones of the song. Like it's not a sad song for you to like. It's not you know what I mean? Like it's not like the intentionally sad tones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean of a song.
Yep.
And there's definitely like hopefulness to that song, which is I think nice, but Jesus.
I know. Yeah. Yep.
They some hard hitters, man. They some hard hitters.
Yeah.
And then like there's some other things like I mean with Stray Kids songs as well. I think that they have some really, really good, very hard hitting lyrics as well, specifically towards the beginning of their journey. I think that there's some really good ones there.
Okay.
But more of those are like, I think I started crying and I think it was basically the chorus is something like, you're doing well. if nobody's told you that lately, you're doing fucking amazing, basically.
And it hits you.
And I was like,
I am doing well.
Thank you so much, Chad. I love you.
That's awesome.
I'm such an idiot. Like, you know, I'll cry about anything these days. It's crazy.
I'm starting to feel more and more like that. A big, muscular, mustachioed, tattooed guy. It doesn't matter. Shit hits me wrong. It's over.
It just hits you, man. It hits you. I don't know. I like some good songs, but I'm also the same with you regarding context. I don't want any context. I don't look anything up either, which I think can be like dangerous sometimes.
Do you mean beforehand or during?
Beforehand. No, nothing. Okay. No.
Gotcha.
No, like, I don't. I just like someone's like, hey, react to like BTS Spring Day. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
Reacting to that. I don't ever look it up or whatever. Nope. So I think sometimes that got me into like a place where I was like, maybe I should be looking up at least something about these people, because I think there was a suggestion once and I was like reacting to it, and it was like this really sweet, and I still fucking love the song. I don't care. I still love a song. And it was like a really sweet song, and it was like super summery and all about like, you know, having crush on someone at school. And I was like, this is so cute. I was like, bro, shoot your shot. You know what I mean? Like, shoot your shot. Yeah. And someone in the comments was like, he did shoot his shot, and I feel like he got like charged with assault or something. I was like, oh shit. Fuck? Awkward. Oh no. Oh my I was God. Like, I should maybe look shit up first then before I like go into reactions. And for a time that I was like going to take on more suggestions, I was like, shit, maybe I should react to some stuff. And I was like, you know what? No. Because I just genuinely didn't know. And I think that's better. Course. I think it's way better to just react to something. If people have suggested it, they must know. Right. So I just have to, I guess, put a trust in my community that if it's like a top comment and people really want that reaction, that maybe, you know, what that one comment was saying wasn't true, or, you know, anything like that. So I feel like I did have a play for a while there where I was like, shit, maybe I should definitely look up something. And then I was like, yeah, you know what? Never mind. I'm just going to go with what I want to react with. And if it's a genuine reaction, and if people want to put in the chat, be like, oh, you know, this thing, you know, blah, blah. I was like, okay, well, I didn't know. I'm really sorry.
And that's the thing. You look it up ahead of time, then you run the risk of it not being an authentic reaction.
Right. So. Exactly. You know, this happened to me recently with a Stray Kids song. And it was an Unveil track. It was called F and F. Okay. And it was just an Unveil track, and I've been reacting to them. So as soon as they drop, I react. And I didn't see the Twitter link. I was on YouTube. So I could see the link dropped. So I opened it and I reacted to it. And after I reacted to it, there was loads of people commenting on it being like, it's about like the nature and wildlife that was lost during the Australian fires. Okay. And I was like, oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah. And had I known that, that would have affected my reaction, because my reaction was actually like, oh, this seems like nice. And I'm really excited. And my energy for that whole reaction was so off, given that Stray Kids released context about the song. So like, it's interesting, like why my reaction is like that. And then I felt like I could see that reflect in the performance of the video, because my energy was so off. And like when I was watching the Unveil track, and I'm talking like 30 fucking seconds of an Unveil track, I was like, oh, this is great. You don't get any context about what they're talking about. So I was like, oh, that my reaction was definitely fucking way off.
I feel like though
you came in so hot there.
Sorry about that. I knew it was quiet and I was trying to like fight through it.
No, you're grand. It did go a little quiet, but now you're good. Yeah, okay. You came in so hot. Okay.
But I feel like even though that can come across as like a negative thing because your energy is off, it doesn't match the context of the video. I feel like the positive spin on that is that it proves that what you're doing is real. It's authentic. Because otherwise, if you do all this research ahead of time, you're not getting what that art is meant to give to you personally. And that costs everything of what we do.
Right. No, totally true. And I think like it wouldn't have been hard for people to find the context, because it was when they released the Unveil track, they tweet about it, and they tweet the Unveil, and then they said like in the tweet they said it's dedicated to like the wildlife and you know, lives lost during the Australian fire. Right. I didn't see the tweet. I was on YouTube, and then it dropped, and I was like, fuck me, I better react to this. So I didn't check Twitter. So now I'm like, all right, check Twitter. Just for free context. I don't want to go into like a video reaction being like, wow, this is a wonderful music reaction. It's like, it's about death.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well,
that's awkward.
That was a bit off key, you know, it was a bit tone deaf. So I think like there can be pluses and minuses with context, but maybe just check the Twitter.
Check the Twitter. Got it. So there's our new t-shirt.
They're going to tweet it. Just fucking check Twitter. Maybe don't read the comments because people will just spoil it. But like, if they're like, hey, we're going to announce this and this, like here, and it's about dying. You're like, okay, great. Now I know.
Now I know. Yeah. At least you can kind of like channel your.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
you can just go in knowing, because I feel like a lot of reactors who did react to that video saw the tweet.
Yeah.
So they went in knowing what it was about, and then they were able to withdraw that context from the stuff that they saw on screen.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I did not, and my energy was a bit off, so I do apologize.
Now, so I'm curious, did you pull that reaction, or did you just let it go?
Just left it up, and I pinned a comment, and I was like, hey guys, I actually had no idea this is about the wildlife. And I said in the comment, I was like, that's why my energy is so off. My energy is not matching what the context of the song is.
Right.
But I genuinely didn't know.
Yeah.
And I just pinned it as a comment. Like, I don't want to remove unless a reaction that I've uploaded is either harmful to somebody else. I just will keep it up there. There's no point in unless I'm either going to get copyright strike for it, or if someone was like, hey, by the way, this artist that you react to has now been convicted of X, Y, and Z, that I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll take that down, because I feel like I wouldn't want to promote that person.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. But so far, touch wood, none of that has happened.
Yeah.
So all G's on that front, all G's.
Nice.
I do have a question to ask you.
Sure.
I have our Twitter open because I'm wanting to give you my list of stuff that whenever we're talking about something, I'll write it down. You sent me a GIF, and it's so fucking adorable, and it's going off, and it's like you going boop, 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 boop. What can you give me context to the GIF? Like, it is actually so cute. I love it so much.
Well, I should have warned you ahead of time that I'm absolutely adorable and humble.
It's actually so cute. It's just like,
yeah.
But it's your face that you make as well, because your face just goes, and then back to a smile. So it's like you were smiling serious while you're booping.
Yeah.
And then you're back at.
Now I got to look at it and see if I can remember what the actual context was.
What was the context of that? It's so cute. I love that you have GIFs, by the way. There's an amazing streamer and content creator in my chat called Amelia, and she sometimes makes GIFs of me, and I'm like, I feel like honored. Somebody makes a GIF, I'm like,
that's how I feel.
Honored.
Yeah. Oh man. I
anybody in his YouTube chat, does anybody else know what we're talking about? He basically looked at the camera and was like, boop, 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 boop. No? Okay.
Oh, they know.
Right.
That's the thing. They all know, because I use my GIFs. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm on Discord, if I'm on Twitter, if I'm texting my mom, you know, she's having a bad day. I'm like, hey, it's okay. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. I mean, it's just complete.
That's really sweet. Yeah.
But I do that a lot. I like to give my little boops to the camera.
That's cute. I love that. Very cute. I unintentionally gave a hug at the end of my Twitch stream, and I was like, guys, it's okay, bring it in. I gave a hug, and then everyone was like, oh, Channy hug. And I didn't know that Chan from Stray Kids does live streams on YouTube. Oh. And at the end of every live, he's like, all right, big hug, bring it in. And he hugs. And I was like,
no
okay,
kidding.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
subliminally,
copying him.
I didn't know. I will be ridding us of that now. Like, we will no longer ridding big hugs, because that's clearly a Chan thing.
Oh man.
So instead, I give them hearts to go take that away.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have at some point, I can't remember how it started, but I think, and hell, it might have been spring day. I don't know. But at some point I said, let's do a virtual hug cereal bowl. Everybody just jump in, hug each other, and just go on your merry way. So we kind of, I get it. It's community. It's, you know.
It's a good vibe.
I like it. And that goes back to, like, for me, when, you know, we talked about the way you feel when you feel like I have to keep pushing content out. I got to keep doing this. For me, I immediately, within a week or two, I started to kind of realize, based on the comments, that a lot of people were watching the content for almost like a connection with somebody. So I felt kind of responsible for these people to say, hey, there's a lot of like people that are looking for connection. They're kind of lonely. Like they've gone through this, they're going through that. So it became this push. So I know on some level for me, that has kind of driven my journey to say, hey, like, hey, I'm here. I'm hearing you. I'm doing my best. Here's a boop. Here's a hug. Because for some people, like that's most of the connection that they're going to get, you know, for whatever parameters or reason.
No, for sure. And I feel like that's the core of reactionary content, really, isn't it? Because people will watch reaction content to see if you had the same reaction.
Yeah.
They're looking for like an identifier being like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Or, oh, interesting that they reacted that way. God, I didn't notice that the first time, you know? So yeah, I think that's like, it's essential to that. And like, if you're going to do this, like if you're going to be on like YouTube or Twitch or any kind of platform when you're making content or something like that, like enjoy your community, because the community are there, and then they're the reason. Like they're literally the reason that your content is either doing well or that you make content in the first place.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
And sometimes they get needy, apparently. Yeah. Can you see them?
I do. What's on stuff?
Okay, so I have to take credit for this.
Did you pee on stuff?
I don't necessarily pee on stuff. So see,
all right. I mean, it seems like your chat is saying different.
Bunch of bastards, man! I can't take you guys anywhere. I don't remember how it started, but in my lives, because my live streams tend to be ridiculously long, because I just get lost in the moment. I just keep going. So I'd say about every hour and a half, I say, okay, you know what? Everybody's getting rambunctious. Let's take 5 minutes. Let's find something in your house. Just go pee on it. Just whatever. Just go for it. I don't know where it came from. That's just more proof that I'm chaos. Yeah.
Are you okay?
No.
Do you have a fetish? No kink shaming here, Roscoe. I mean, listen. I mean, you do you. Whatever gets you off, pal. I mean,
noted. Don't put that in my homework. Oh man,
I got some videos you might want to see. I'm just kidding.
I got busted by Pagan in one live stream. She nailed it. Oh, that's too funny.
Oh, that's funny.
See, and now I know what's gonna happen. Just Lulu is gonna. She's going to kill that. She's going to be sending me weird GIFs and videos. Yep. She's going to have an OnlyFans with me on it. And I guarantee.
Fair. Oh, you don't have an OnlyFans yet? You should get on that.
Well, I thought, see, let me tell you, I almost messed up one day because like I have like four of the BTS cardboard life-size cutouts. Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah, all gifts from people, amazing community. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Love that.
Joyce, thank you, Joyce, for the Porta Potty Fund. So I made the joke one day with all my cardboard cutouts back there that I thought it would be funny for us to start an OnlyFans page and only do stuff with the cardboard cutouts, right? But the community, like some people took that way the wrong way. And I was like, that's not what I meant. I was like, I'll just show a shoulder. And that's it.
Yeah, that's not what you meant. You meant like taking, like if you took the cardboard cutout, like to church. Yeah. You just took a photo of it. It's like,
took it to church. That was such...
I don't know.
That's adorable.
Whatever you do with it.
So
line them up outside.
Recovery.
The churchgoers would be hella confused about the fuck. And good. You're like, welcome to the Church of K-pop.
Yep, here
they come. These are your new gods. Jimin.
Yep. And I just make them dance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Too funny.
Yeah.
You've got to have quite a list over there by now on this Twitter message.
It's like 4 things so far. Icon,
that's it?
Bobby,
I figured there was like a full page.
The first take YouTube channel is great. I mean, specifically Stray Kids, if you want to watch that. But you don't have to watch that. I wanted to put Kingdom Legendary War, which is so good. But it's an investment.
Okay.
Which I think you won't mind because your streams are really long. You probably get through the whole thing in one. There's 10 episodes, and I think I should also send you the survival show for Stray Kids.
Send everything.
Yes, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But Kingdom Legendary War is like crazy. Like it's Battle of the Bands like I've never seen it before.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a survival show. I gotta remember that. They're not in the woods.
It's not Survivor. Yeah. They're not out in the woods like trying to eat beans and rice.
Man.
Stray Kids survival show is actually about JYP puts together. I think a lot of Korean entertainment companies do this, and they're still going.
Okay.
And they're basically survival shows where they're putting together a group. They're performing. It's kind of. I was gonna say it's kind of like Got Talent thing that used to be on, like
Oh
Britain's
yeah.
Got Talent or America's Got Talent, right?
Yep.
So they put together a group of say like 6 people, and then they might add 2 more, and then they'll be like, you know what? Actually, those people are not working very well, and they'll get through like elimination rounds and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a good one. It's like super interesting, kind of emotional times. And they're just kids, which is fucked up. Because you're watching it being like, I'm sorry, how old did you say he was? And you're like,
man.
oh, you know, he's only like 14 or 15. I was like, the fucking
wow.
what? But yeah, it's very good. Stray Kids specifically, so they're putting together these groups. They perform, then they get to a point where they're going to debut, or they're going to get to a point where they're going to like compete to debut, I guess.
Okay.
You see the first episode, and they'll perform with all these other groups, and then the company leader at the time is it's JYP, right? So they're just kind of like, well, you got to pick one of these groups, and they're gonna go debut this year. So then you got to make them ready for that. So then they have to do like, you have to write some songs, you have to perform some songs, then you have to like perform it to us, then you have to perform it out to the public for the lifetime and all this kind of stuff. And it's just such an interesting journey. And the biggest difference about Stray Kids in general is that Bang Chan, who is the leader, has actually put together the group himself within the company.
Oh.
So it's not actually that the company put together these like 8 people at random or 9 people at random. They're like, Chan was like, okay, I like this guy and I like this person, and blah, blah, and he's been there for like 7 years. And so he selected the group. So it's his like, it's his whole thing on the line, if that makes sense. And he's the leader, and like, it's a really good show. I won't say too much more than that. Like, it's just an interesting. That one's not so much a battle of the bands, but more like you must meet these requirements to debut as a group, and then like get a single.
Okay. So. Wow. No, that's good info. I like that.
Yeah. I can if you struggle to find any of these or where to watch them to stream, let me know, because I have links that help. Because for example, a lot of people were saying you can watch a lot of stuff on Viki TV, VIKKI, I think it's called Viki. It doesn't allow you to stream, so it doesn't allow any recording capture.
Yep. So
you can watch it personally. If you don't want to react to it, that's also fine.
Right.
Please go ahead and watch these on your personal time. It's great. But yeah, just there are other places you can watch it that you can record as well. So yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, and I mean, already since I started doing this, like I have only the tip of the iceberg with Run BTS, you know, or like I haven't touched In the Soup or Bon Voyage, none of that.
I haven't touched any of that. I think I've watched the first series of Run BTS.
Okay.
So the first 10 episodes?
Okay, so I'm not much further than you. Yeah, I hit
episode
31. Yeah.
We should watch them together.
Careful
we'll
now. You don't have much time, young lady. I know you don't say no to shit.
Listen, we'll make it work. We'll get an episode in, at least an episode. Be good.
Too funny.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're really good. There's some really good stuff out there, and then ATEEZ have one, and Stray Kids have one, and but everybody has them. It's so wild. Like that's what killed me about Korean culture is like I didn't know about K-pop really until about a year ago. Yep. I watched the Blackpink Netflix documentary.
Okay.
That was my extent of K-pop knowledge.
Just that documentary. That's it.
That was it. And I liked their song, so I listened to their song.
Okay.
And then a friend of mine was like posting about it on Twitter, and I was like, and then I saw Pokimane attend a BTS concert, and I was like, who are these guys? Like, I don't know who they are.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, it's a K-pop thing. So I sent out like a message to Twitter and to Instagram. And I was like, hey, give me some songs for K-pop reactions, and we'll do it for my channel.
Sure.
And that's how I kind of like dived in. But wow, like the extent of content that they make around these artists is insane.
Yeah.
Just since like they have multiple like reality shows, then they have to go on like actual like shows, like variety shows. Some of them are hosts or presenters for these shows. Just it drives me crazy. And then there's like live streams, like the V Lives, obviously as well. It just like whoa.
Yeah, and
like,
I mean,
there's just so much. I've just never seen anything like it. It's so interesting.
I had initially said at one point when I started to see the behind the scenes stuff of like 2013 for BTS, where they're literally just coming together. They're in the studio, one-on-one with the camera, very like 1990s skate TV kind of stuff. I had said that was so neat, and I can understand the appeal for BTS because I can't imagine that everybody's doing this level of content. But the more I learn, that's absolutely what's going to happen. I can't believe it.
I know.
So much.
It's fucking wild. I think what is probably one of the most endearing things about BTS is because of like their upbringing and their backgrounds and stuff, and then where they came from. And like they came from nothing, and they used to share like a fucking like a 4 bunk bed room. Like there was just 4 beds for 7 of them. And I was like, that sucks. Like fuck me, that sucks. And then they were like, I love the clip. I fucking love the clip where they were going to get they were giving away tickets to their concert, like for like they were pre-debut or debut at the time, and they were in America. And they were approaching people on the street, be like, you like music? And they're handing out tickets to their concert.
I haven't seen this clip, but
when
I
they're
can
like
already
17
tell.
or 18. The chat will know. It's just, I was like blown away. I was like, oh my God, they're just out here. Out here. Come to my show. Like, and now like the biggest boy group in the world. And I'm like, that's fuck nuts. Me, that's crazy. Like,
oh man.
It's so interesting. But to see all that, the fact that they've documented everything from then has just only helped propel them into like stardom. And I think it's like this really big age of I think BTS hit a time where like there were some amazing K-pop artists before, right? K-pop has been a thing. And I think BTS hit a really good time with not only their talent and their music, but because of this whole YouTube vlogging culture that was kicking off in the Western world as well as in the Asian culture, because that was already a thing with like reality TV shows and stuff like that. And then they were recording all of this stuff like from debut to like basically where they are now with all of these reality stuff. That I think is just like the right place, right time for the right talent. Like they just hit a magic number, and I think that just happened to propel them. I actually think something very similar is happening now in the K-pop industry because of TikTok.
Interesting.
And I think that artists who are having TikTok clips, like TikTokable dances and all this, are propelling into stardom. You know, the biggest K-pop group outside of BTS right now is New Jeans.
Brand spanking new.
New. And I 1000% believe it's because of their utility of TikTok and social media. Their style and fashion is also very much up and coming with the youth now, with like Gen Z and Zillennials and stuff, and Gen A. Like they're just hitting the right wave. I think the same thing with other bands like Stray Kids, ATEEZ, etc. I think that Western culture is really starting to realize like the talent that's sitting in Korea and Korean culture. 50/50, for example, are amazing. Or what's the other one called? XG. Is that right, chat? I'm not sure if that's right. They're the new ones, and they're actually not a Korean band, but they're like they're called an international band, I think. The Seraphim is right. Yeah. XG. Yeah, it is. XG is blowing up, and they're doing English songs. But they're like I think Japanese, Korean, Chinese as well. But like it's just fascinating. When you actually take a step out of it and look at it like from a marketing perspective, where BTS hit it right was all of that like reality content with the lives, specifically the lives, with some of them learning a little bit of English as well, like to communicate with a Western audience. Then they were getting like the fans in the Korean culture were then translating for American audience and stuff like that. With that rise, that just really helped lift them to the cream of the crop and like overtake things like EXO and stuff like that as well. Like it was just their utility of media. And I think Stray Kids, to be honest, I think is on a similar wavelength regarding boy groups. But XG, 50/50, and New Jeans are really just hitting it off, and it's their utility of media. 50/50 have just broken Blackpink's record regarding like a British charts, like the top 10 charts. And I think like Blackpink were the only K-pop group to have that record. I can't remember what it's for now. I think it's like the longest time at top 10.
No
in
kidding.
the UK, and 50/50 have just beat that.
Wow.
Like fucking incredible. Like, and it's just so interesting to see this rise.
No
And it's
kidding.
also with things like with the production of anime, with manga, with all of this stuff as well. Like, you know, people are like having this big resurgence of like the Ghibli films and stuff. It's just interesting to see the rise and the wave and the cultural change in media. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and I've only had, as far as I can remember, one exposure to Blackpink, and it wasn't even the whole group of Blackpink. It was Lisa. It was recent. It was Lisa and Taeyang. Shun. It's a Shun? Shun.
Oh,
have you
I haven't
seen
heard
that?
the song.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So that was my first exposure, and I didn't even know that she was from Blackpink initially. I don't think. Just Lisa came on the screen, and quite a presence to this young lady.
Damn.
Wow. So
yes.
I've been.
She's Thai.
Oh yeah.
I
did not
She's
know
from
that.
Thailand.
No
she actually received quite a lot of hate and racism because she's Thai.
Wow.
Like that. Yeah.
Doesn't
it's
make
very
any
sad
sense to me.
Like when you actually look into it, it's so wildly disgusting. It's crazy. They were calling her all sorts of things. Like they would call her all sorts of names, including like fat shaming. Lisa, who's like a fucking stick, and it's because she's foreign. She's from Thailand, and there's a lot of like xenophobia and racism directed towards her, which is a very, very sad thing. But she's actually one of like the top I guess what is it like the top percentile in that group. It's herself. I think it's herself, Jenny, Rose, and then Jisoo, which is unfortunate because Jisoo is just underrated in my opinion. I think I love her. I just love her. But like in terms of like popularity. So for example, if you're comparing statistics for like fan cams and things like that as well, I think Lisa's and Jenny's are one of the two top of that group.
Wow, so you're really like a numbers person.
I just notice these things. I just think like I don't look for that, but when it comes across my page or whatever, I stick with that knowledge. Like I think that's fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting.
I just saw your eyes go this big. You're like, yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah,
it's just
I can see that.
Interesting. I'm still interested in the fact that like New Jeans are like if you like the context that you have to think about. The biggest K-pop group in the world right now is BTS. But New Jeans are a brand new group and they are second.
That's like, nuts.
Like in my head, I'm just like the marketing, the production behind that shit. Yeah. Like it's just wild.
Have you seen?
And I think 50/50, that group that's just beat Blackpink. I think they came from a company that like that's their only group. Like that company started and was like. Yeah, and I think the manager or whatever, the CEO of that company, like spent his entire fortune on that group because he really believed in them, and now they're like
all in.
Yeah. Really
wow. I watched Ditto by New Jeans. Have you seen that?
I don't think I've seen Ditto. Have I? Probably not. I don't think so. But I fucking love New Jeans, man.
I think it was my only one. Maybe there was another one, but it was relatively recent. It was only a few months ago. And without giving anything away, I'll say that the things that I like about music videos, they hit really
good.
Well. Oh, yeah. And I was like, who are these? And they were like brand new. Here they come.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. I feel like, have I probably seen Ditto? There is another one. I don't think it was New Jeans, though. Oh, man. I have to think about it. I have to think about who. It must have been New Jeans.
There's like so many artists up there, right?
You know what? Yeah, I feel like it was the previous one that I saw was Oh My God. The music video for that, which is so interesting because it's based in like a mental institution. Have you seen that?
Yes, I know what you're saying.
Great video.
I think I've seen both of those. Are they? Maybe they're kind of tied or something. It's like
I think they might come into. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just so interesting because like I was like, damn, that's an interesting music video for this song.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's part of like New Jeans' appeal.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because they know it. Like they know what they're doing. It's very good. They're very good.
Well done. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are you on your first drink still?
All right, Jesus Christ.
I'm just kidding.
Listen, I was drinking last night on the tri-channel. Okay, I had a fun night. I woke up very hungover this morning. I had to get myself a full Irish breakfast. It was lovely.
Which
And then
is what?
I got myself the same as a full English, but we don't say English here. We just don't say English here. So it's like 2 sausage, 2 bacon, 1 egg, mushrooms, fried tomato, beans, and toast.
This is so specific.
Oh, and black and white pudding. I feel like you don't know what pudding is. You're thinking of like the sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not the same.
I pictured chocolate and vanilla pudding.
Yeah, no, it's like sausage. So there's a white one and there's a black one. Yes, it's not the American pudding. If anybody's like struggling in chat, black pudding is actually made with, I think, like blood.
Oh,
which sounds disgusting, but honestly, it's fucking tasty. would highly recommend. Oh, I also don't know if you swear on your channel. I'm so sorry. I have a mouth of a sailor. So
girl, we're way past that. You've been cussing it up for an hour and a half.
I only realized though, like, because I'm live on my own Twitch, and like my Twitch, no, I know. But then I forgot that we're actually live on your YouTube, and I'm like, oh, actually, maybe you don't swear. I swear a lot.
Girl, it's too fucking late. Let's just get in there. And get there.
Yeah. But yeah. So it is very tasty. And then white pudding is it's not made with blood. I guess it's the opposite of the black pudding, but it's differently spiced, so it does taste a little different. It's very tasty. Yeah, it's true. It is dinner time miso soup in Ireland right now. You know what? It's after 6 seconds. I can swear.
Yeah. Am I quiet again?
You're quiet again.
What the hell? This is what I'm talking about. Tech problems.
Oh, we love to see it.
Yeah. Well, you know what that means. Guess we'll have to have another.
Oh, drinks. Yum yum.
Just a little bit.
Hey, Beth. Welcome in. Yeah, I don't know how the mic is doing that.
This is my life, and when it comes in,
you're back.
Hot. Am I?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah.
Not to me. Wow.
Oh shit.
Let me just start pushing buttons here. See what happens.
I mean, you're back on mine, so I don't know.
Okay. See, even John Reeves. There we go.
Wow, there it is.
See what I mean? Now
is
we're
this a
good.
Cable issue? Do you have a cable issue for your SMB?
I have never had this problem. And yes, it is. This is the only time I've dealt with that.
Interesting. And do you think that's like a Video Ninja problem that we're using, maybe?
I'm going to say yes, because I don't want to take responsibility for it, but
it's interesting because like, I don't know how it would affect your volume, but then it could be like a connection issue. I don't know.
I'm gonna guarantee, with all of the tech issues I've had over this last year, I guarantee it's something I'm doing. Yeah, and especially when libations are involved, it gets really messy because I don't know if you're like this. I still get nervous before I go live. Do you?
No.
You don't. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
I don't.
Wow.
I think that like the only time I was nervous was once when I was reacting to, you know when it was? It was insane. So I was reacting live on YouTube. Yeah. The first time I'd ever gone live on YouTube. That was probably why I was like really nervous, because I don't know the overlay and everything. I was like, oh, it's weird. And I was reacting to BTS intro guide. 1,000 people. Over 1,000 people in the live chat joined, and I was like freaking out as the numbers got more and more. I was like, how are there 1,000 people here?
Yeah.
What are you all doing here?
Am I gonna mess this up?
Just chilling. Like, are you okay? What's going on? Also, hi, welcome. Please follow. Like, I don't know. Like, it was just wild. And then like, other reactions to that on YouTube did well. But then as soon as I started reacting to YouTube, a wonderful reactor, her name's Anitra. She runs What Reacts on YouTube. Yeah. Yep. She reached out and she was like, hey, just be careful, because when you're reacting on YouTube, it will send you a little like notification. So like if there's audio detected that's copyrighted, it'll send you an audio notification, but like almost instantly you can get striked. Yeah. And she was like, that happened to me live. Like she was like, it didn't even give me a chance to take the thing off. And then when she stopped playing the video, the copyright thing was still there. Yeah. And then she got striked for it. And she tried to dispute it, but they didn't. And then essentially it almost blacklisted her channel. So she found that she found that she was almost shadow banned. So followers weren't being pushed her videos anymore. Whoa. And then that's why she texted me. And I was like, God, you're so right. Like that, that did happen on my YouTube. It didn't happen with the red. It just happened like with a yellow warning and was like, hey, copyright, whatever.
Yep.
But it was fine because the video that we were reacting to only had like clips of audio that were less than like 30 seconds long. So it seemed fine. But ever since then, I've pretty much taken all of my reactions to Twitch because Twitch don't DMCA, like they don't DMCA strike you live unless it's the people. So for example, like the only other time I've seen people DMCA striked is like people leaking stuff that has not yet released, specifically Nintendo based.
Oh yeah, go figure.
Nintendo are fucking like they have bots or something that are just on it so straight away that your channel will get suspended immediately.
Wow.
So Twitch can also be a little dodge, but with music and YouTube reactions, it seems fine. Unless the YouTube person who uploaded is gonna come and DMCA your video on Twitch, which is just so unlikely. It's just safer to react on Twitch, so that's probably why. So that's I don't know. I feel like the only time I would get nervous is like streaming on a platform I'm not familiar with, and also the quantity of people that were there was just like, well,
1,000 people. That's
here.
Nuts.
Yeah, it was wild. It was one of the best things, but Jesus.
Oh, it's so nerve-wracking. I mean, hell, I'm only generally live to maybe 150, 200, give or take. And I'm still like, when I go live. So, and I don't say that I drink on every stream, but sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll just have a quick fireball. Yeah, easy day. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So we actually implemented what we call the YouTube anger bar on our channel, where they can see that little bar, like my viewers can see that bar. So if I'm watching something and they see it turn yellow, they can chat it up.
Very good. That's a good idea.
And it doesn't matter. You know why? Because as soon as it turns yellow, they cut the feed like that. Yeah. I haven't had a strike yet. Knock on plastic.
Thank God. Yeah, me either. No strikes yet. But I mean, like even GOT got a strike and his video was set to private.
What?
Yeah, his video was a private video and he got striked and he was contesting it.
Whoa.
And I was like, the fuck is wrong? Like YouTube really do need to reevaluate.
That's crazy.
I think
private.
Like I think in honesty, I think YouTube needs to reevaluate their laws regarding fair use.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like they should just like snap their fingers and we can monetize on the content. I understand why I can't monetize on the content. I get it. But at the same time, like you shouldn't have to strike a channel because they're reacting to something. If they're re-uploading a Netflix series, I understand.
Yep.
But I just think that like maybe there just should be more like monitoring on something like that rather than just bot actioning, because it just seems so harsh, and then creators like us just get so discouraged with things like that. So I don't know, like it's so interesting. And then 3 strikes and your channel's deleted. Like
deleted.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and I have been pretty good with, like, I don't have any strikes yet. I generally would like to say I play it safe, but the more I've been reading lately, I might just have to make the shift more to Twitch, just because I don't want to have to, like, I want to watch what I'm watching and enjoy it. I don't want to have to watch the content and the anger bar and chat. It's too much.
Yeah. So I was just saying this to John in the chat. Like, I think that the best way to do it really is what I've done. And it's to react live on Twitch and then re-upload to YouTube. Because in the re-upload, like okay, so, you know, you can tag a product when you're uploading. Why don't they let you tag a song? Then it auto allows the copyright owner to monetize it and keep your reaction safe. I would agree. I think that would be very good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I would. That actually does work on the YouTube audio library.
Really?
So I feel like they're trying to implement that with So if you're like, for example, like for my vlog that I recently uploaded, I downloaded songs from the audio library on YouTube. And with YouTube, like there are some artists on that audio library that ask you to tag them, and then if you tag them, the copyright thing will be fine.
Wow.
There's some of the audio there that you don't need to tag and things like that. So I think that's probably doable with the smaller sound creators, but I don't know if there's a way to do that en masse. But good shout, John. But yeah, so what I do is I react live on Twitch, and then I will potentially edit that whenever I get time. I potentially edit that, and then I re-upload it for YouTube. And at least with the re-upload, when you're uploading it, it'll flag the content that's copyrighted, And then if anything is blocked, I'll just take that out.
Yeah.
So that seems to be the best way. Unfortunately, it just means that you can't react live with a YouTube audience. But that's a fucking YouTube problem, unfortunately. Like that just seems to be a YouTube issue. So
yeah, and that's what I've been doing, and I know it's risky, but it's, you know, Twitch is like, I had to go through the ads of Twitch and try to figure out how they're playing and when they're playing. I have no idea. There's so much. I mean, you know how it is. You get overwhelmed with one platform and then another platform. So like the uploading back onto YouTube has been pretty good for the most part. If it gets blocked, then I put it on Patreon for free, and that's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, same.
So there's ways, but you're right. If YouTube doesn't like clean up what they're doing, and it's just automated shutting people down and deleting entire journeys of content, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? And then just it's so like unfair in a way. Like I could react to Map of the Soul 7, and I'll put that on YouTube, and I would get like copyright striked and then a ban, or you know, whatever I could do. But you could do that tomorrow, and your channel might not be affected at all. So it's such an unfair system the way YouTube has it. Unfortunately, it's just like, that's one of the biggest gripes that I have with YouTube. I love YouTube as a content platform, but Jesus, like the actual copyright law that they have to go through on that, like they need to reassess it. And I think with the rise in reaction content, they 1000% need to reassess that.
Yeah, because I mean, this is
hard.
It's coming in hot now. All this reaction stuff is significant, which makes sense because, I mean, when the pandemic happened, you know, you had all these shows that came onto, you know, cable network and online on Netflix of stuff of just people reacting to shows that other people were watching. And it made us feel like we were with friends, and it made perfect sense. So for this culture to be birthed from that makes perfect sense. So YouTube, has to adjust for that and make it work.
It does, yeah.
Otherwise,
maybe GOT, like maybe GOT, like his audience is growing pretty fast. I'm like, GOT, when you get 1 million, call YouTube.
Get a word in.
Call YouTube and fucking have a word with their solicitors, like, please. It's unfortunate, but I think it's the best way forward. Like, especially on my channel as well. I feel like I'm just more familiar with Twitch, but I will agree. I think that Twitch is really hard to handle sometimes. Like, it's so difficult. Like, the user interface is so much, and there's like monetization or whatever. And the thing is, like, you want to turn off ads, but then you have to turn off monetization on your channel altogether. And
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and if you turn on ads, you have no control of the ads. Jeez. Somebody might be watching and have like 6 ads in a row, and then they're writing in your chat being like, I just had 6 ads. And the only way that they don't get ads is if they subscribe to your Twitch channel. Now, thankfully, a lot of people, specifically American audience, have Prime, Amazon Prime. And you can sub via Amazon Prime on Twitch. You don't have to pay anything for it. Like, like, it's included in your Amazon Prime as a Twitch sub. So that's usually my first reaction. If somebody's complaining too much about the adverts, I was like, the only way I can tell you about getting rid of the adverts is to sub with Prime. If you have Prime, it doesn't cost you anything extra. You have a Twitch sub with Prime included. But if you don't, then like, either you got to stick out the adverts or you can sub. Which is
there a limit on how many channels you can subscribe to?
Just one.
Just one. Okay, so you're using
just one with your Twitch Prime. Okay. Or your Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But there's some like great people in the community that might like gift you subs. I don't know if they can do that yet on YouTube, but they can gift you subs on Twitch, for example. So they can give like 30 subs. So 30 people in your chat at random will just get subscribed to your channel. Wow. Which is nice. So like there's a really good sharing community, I think, on Twitch, and I think that YouTube needs to catch on to them.
Absolutely. And we've got some of that, you know, people like Joyce and Kat and Kimmy, like you see the subs get gifted left and right, and it's a lot of sharing and that kind of stuff. It's good. And Jojo, you're so sweet. I see you. I use my Prime sub for you. Oh, Jojo. See, Jojo's one of those that claims she's quiet, but she just goes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. She's great. We got good people.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so one of your people, Monica, just said that you can gift on YouTube too. That's pretty new then. Like, that wasn't there a few years ago anyway. Yeah, because we were trying that because I help run a different channel, and people were asking that they couldn't gift a sub on YouTube. So that must have been a very recent thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, sorry.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I've been realizing this for the last several minutes. You are so good about having a conversation with me and chat at the same time. I don't know how the hell you're doing it. Like, you're so efficient.
It's probably just years of Twitch streaming.
Oh my God. How you get anything
You just gotta
done?
keep an eye on the chat. That's all.
Oh man, I'm so terrible. I'm like, oh, there's people over there. I'm just talking to you.
That's fine. Like, it's totally fine. I just, like, occasionally I'll message into my chat being like, hey guys, I'm so glad you're all here. I'm like, and I'm so glad you're all here. Like, it's not a direct chat. Like, sometimes I'll do just chatting streams and I'll just be talking to Twitch chat, which is great. But, like, I don't know. I think with video games and stuff like that as well, you just sort of learn to multitask, especially in the beginning, like when you don't have moderators and like that. Like, you have to be on chat so fast for stuff you need to delete. And then lovely people come in and help me moderate, which is lovely. Yeah,
I got some good people.
Yeah, that's probably why. And then you just sort of like learn how to skim read. What gets me is like the bigger streamers, that kills me. Like when you go into their chat, there's like 15,000 people. I'm like, how are you reading that?
But they quote people.
I know.
I don't get it.
It's so wild. Like they call them out and be like, oh yeah. And I'm like, how
the hell did you see that?
What?
Yep.
It's just like, it's like a muscle memory thing. Like they must just learn it off. Like,
I think the only, like, cause I watch a streamer on YouTube named Asmongold. Do you know Asmongold?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I watch him from time to time, and see, Jojo, that's my plan. If I ignore you guys long enough, you'll start throwing money at me to get my attention.
Literally your attention like this. So I see. Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. Like with YouTube, they have the super chats.
Yeah.
And Twitch, I don't think you have that. I think you have oh well, you kind of do, don't you? Kind of have like
the bits or
highlighted
something
chats
like that.
I suppose, yeah, bits. I think. Yeah, true.
And unless they have like someone like Asmon, you know, if he goes live and he's got 30,000 viewers or whatever it is, like there's got to be a mod that's highlighting messages or something. I mean, how else can we function? Yeah.
They must watch it in slow mode, but also they must have they might have bigger monitors, like a full monitor dedicated to chat.
Yeah,
which I can understand. But even their mod team, like I've never, like I watch Pokemon streams quite a lot, and I'm never active really in the chat. I just watch the chat, and it's so interesting to see the mods work because they're so fast. But there's at least like 20 of them.
Oh wow!
At least, like there's just so many of them. Like you can see like. So deleted, and I was like, how are you working this fast?
Right.
Crazy. Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I mean, my mods do a great job, but if there's like 6 of us, 5 of them are mods. So there's really just, they're all watching the one person, and it's usually JoJo. So I don't know if you have troublemakers in your chat like I do.
Only a few.
Yeah.
only you know, the few that are regulars.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Man, this is fun.
Good crack though. It is. It's so fun. I didn't know you were a gamer. So what were your games that you were collecting that you like? Do you still play games, or are you like retroactively collecting them?
So I'll say I've been playing video games since I was 7. My first system was a Nintendo.
10 years only? Really? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, you're adorable. Right. I'm clearly almost 60.
Yeah,
as you can tell. No. Wisdom.
No. Oh my God, really? No way.
Yeah, no. God,
wow, that's
no.
definitely not what I would have said.
I'm 42, 43. I don't know. I'm past 40. I stopped counting.
Okay.
But yeah, my Nintendo was my first system, and I've collected them ever since. So in my closet, I've got everything from Nintendo all the way through PS5 and Xbox X and all that stuff, and all the games that go along with them. But admittedly, I only play one game now, and it's a game that has almost killed me several times. You're like, oh, this got dark. Well,
no, I feel you on those.
World of Warcraft.
Wow, you're a WoW kid.
I'm totally a WoW dork. Yeah. And let me explain 2 things. One.
Go for it. Love it.
I started playing WoW when I was 24 years old.
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah, I think that's 24, 25 years old. I had never played a game like this. I was all about like Mario and Zelda, you know, Nintendo 64, GoldenEye, things like that. And then the manager at the gaming store said, hey, you want to get lost in a game? Try this. I said, okay, I'll give it a try. So I try it. I'm hooked. I'm so hooked that I get home from work after a long day. I immediately run upstairs, sit down in my work clothes, and I start gaming nonstop through the night. And I go to work in the same clothes. That's how addicted I was.
Wow.
It was bad. Wow. That's why they call it that. Joyce, you have lost your damn mind. I see you, Joyce. Always trouble. That's one of my troublemakers. So WoW has been the thing for me. I've played it for 20 years. I still play it, but thankfully I have some moderation now. But it did get to a point where it was really bad where I played WoW and I wasn't technically going for the world record, but I played it for 38 hours straight and I got Bell's palsy in my face.
No.
For 2 weeks.
Stop.
Half my face was paralyzed. I was drooling out of the side of my face. It was scary. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Did you have to go cold turkey for 2 weeks and not play it?
Oh God, no. I kept going because I figured, well, damage is done. I mean, if I can do the other side and it's even. I guess
there's nothing to learn here.
I don't do lessons. Yeah. And so like thankfully it went away after 2 weeks, but like Lulu right now is busting my chops because I had this moment that I'm not proud of, but I'm going to share it with you because I'll bet you have a similar story. Even though you're a woman who looks like she has her shit together.
That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what comes of it.
Okay, go ahead.
When I was at my highest addiction point, I got a week off from work. So Friday noon hits, I rush home, and I don't know if you call it this in your land, but I have a onesie. Like the feety pajamas.
Have onesies? Yeah.
Okay, like with the feet and everything. Little butt flap, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, we do not have that. That's for babies.
Okay, that's just me. Yeah, okay, so got it. Yeah, noted. I can hear your judgment. Okay, like mine has a little tiny cape, okay, which second says a bib when I'm eating chips. But anyway, point being, so I rush home, I throw my onesie on, and I sit at the computer. And I know in my head, I have 9 days of nothing to do but World of Warcraft. Okay,
nice.
Makes perfect sense. But of course, like I can have pizza delivered. I've got chips for days, soda.
It's the best time.
It's the best. Like nothing to think about except for my marriage. Whatever. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, forget about that though. It's not important.
She'll figure it out. She knows where I'm at, right? So I sit down and right behind me is my second computer, which my wife is she's not playing, but she's on the computer. At this point, 9 days have passed that I've been playing World of Warcraft. Okay.
So we're at the end of this run.
Yes. And I know I got to work tomorrow, so I got to wrap it up, Well, we're sitting there and I'm playing. Have you ever played WoW or an MMORPG?
I am not a big MMORPG player.
Fair enough. I totally get it. But you're familiar with the concept, right?
Absolutely. It's addictive.
If I let go of these keys, people die. Like, this is important shit that I'm doing.
Absolutely. Oh, no.
Well, I'm playing and I'm sweating. I just look like a mess, okay? And I'm and I'm going for it. Well, my wife is back there and she's like, hey, calm down. Like, it's a game. And I'm like, shut up. People are gonna die, and I'm freaking out because my shit's important. So like I'm burning up in this onesie. So I drop the zipper and I'm going to town, and all of a sudden, I can't believe I'm telling you this story right now. We literally just met. Okay, so
I feel like I know where it's
So she goes,
no!
What the fuck is that smell? And I was like, what? Well, I had opened up the onesie, and 9 days of Roscoe au jus had poured out.
Oh my God.
And she just like, it was literally one of those where I could hear her hands come off the key and I heard the yeah, it was bad, right? And then of course, like, we wiped, like, everybody died, and I turned around and I was just this disheveled mess of like Cheetos war paint. There were crumbs in every joint and orifice that it was ugly. And
Nice.
and she was like, I thought that day that I might let you go. Like, I thought maybe I was done. But I was like, girl, you can't refuse this.
Appreciate the honesty. Like, that's what the real marriage is, friends. Just appreciate the honesty.
See, she calls that a low point, but I think that was one of my best moments. It was commitment. Tell me you have a story like that.
I don't. Oh. I shower like normal people.
What? Boring.
No, I mean, I've definitely had like those days where like you just can't get away from a game. Like, you must complete it. But because I don't play MMORPGs, there's nothing on the line for me to pause the game. Yeah. And I don't play games that you can't pause. For example, like Bloodborne or anything like that. Like, so I would only play games that are usually like story-based adventure, like very story-based adventures, God of War, Uncharted, The Last of Us, those kind of things. Yeah, so those are the kind of games that I'm really into. So I didn't have anything that was like so addictive that I must play this all the time. I must get this thing because it's important. So I don't have a similar story like that, but I've had like days where I'm like, all right, peace out. PlayStation, here I come. Yeah. And then I won't see anybody for like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's pretty good. It's all good.
Okay.
Take a drink.
I forgot. There I come. Here I come.
There it is. There it is. I don't know. I kind of wish. Kind
of wish you'd never heard that story.
No, it's a fine story. Listen, I'm a gamer. My husband's a gamer. We have gamer friends. We get it. We understand. It's okay. It's a level that I understand.
That's good.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I get with I get like that with like TV shows.
Okay.
So
now we're talking.
I'm hopefully gonna do a review on it. But do you like KDramas?
I haven't seen any, unless you count Squid Game as a K-drama.
Okay, actually, yeah, I technically kind of wouldn't. To be fair, I kind of wouldn't count that in the same realm.
Fair.
But it is, a really great Korean TV show.
Yeah.
But I also had never seen K-drama.
Okay.
And then someone recommended Crash Landing on You. You're welcome, chat. Crash Landing on You.
Okay.
On Netflix.
Add it to my homework list.
I will add it to your homework list. And when I first watched like the first few episodes, I was like, okay, there's clearly a barrier that we as Westerners, like from Western culture, have to get over. Okay. Because there's just a different way that they act. It's a different way that the show is produced. Specifically, like the way that they react to stuff almost seems like overreaction.
Okay.
But I feel like that's not out of context for the, for the style.
Interesting.
So I feel like you might understand this as a director, like coming from production. I felt this, and I was like, I think this was like, it's such an interesting show, I guess, but I like the premise, and I think it's interesting. So let's see how this develops.
Crash Landing on You.
Crash Landing on You. I'll put it in our Twitch as well. There we go. Yeah. I was so addicted.
Really?
I would watch in any second moment that I had.
Wow, one of those.
Like work, like breaks from work, after work, I would just binge watch the I just continued to try and get into and I was just so obsessed with it. The premise is there is a very wealthy CEO who gets involved in a paragliding incident where a very strange storm essentially blows her into North Korea.
Oh, shit.
So she lands in North Korea, and the North Korean commander of the watch finds her in the tree, helps her down, and then tries to help her escape, and essentially it unfolds from there. And it's just so well done. Like, after you get over like the mental leap being like, this is interesting, I've never seen something like this before. I'm in love with it, and all I want to do now is consume other kind of K-dramas. So I haven't started my next one yet.
So this is your first and only one so far.
First and only one so far, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna have to do a review on it. Like I just adore it. Like it's so good. And it's what's so good about it is it's so well balanced with romance, comedy, and this underlying threat.
Oh,
Like
that's
this
not easy to do.
No, like this very real threat that if she is discovered, she is dead.
And he's
And
done
so
too.
so is everybody.
Yep.
Like there's just this very real threat. And I feel like they've done it so well. Like, yeah, I think it's very good. So please do watch that. It's definitely something you can't react to this, right? It's a paid for show, so you can't react to it. But just like if you have, some time, maybe watch the first 2 episodes, see what you think.
Yeah.
I think if you're like definitely not into it, the first 2 episodes, try the third and then see, because it is just literally like I don't know. It just felt like a barrier. It felt like a mental leap that I had to be like, okay, I just need to realize that this is how the show is. Like, this is what they are like.
Okay.
So yeah, I definitely,
and you
I definitely recommend
back.
that.
Okay.
Never look back. It is very good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm.
I've had a few recommendations, which like I said, I haven't started. Like Vincenzo was one that came up a lot. I know there was also, what was the one? Oh, I don't know if you'll know it. It was a recent video. Junie did a song. No, what the hell was it? Chat, what was it that I watched? I got pissed because they gave away the ending of the show. It was like somebody was dead and was looking out for somebody else. There was a red scarf. Goblin. Goblin was another one that has come up multiple times. Thank you, chat. Oh, man. Yeah. And so that one, I don't know if I can do Goblin just because I know kind of how it ends.
How it ends. I see.
And that hurts. Yeah. But the one you're talking about, which bravo on your synopsis, because that is how you draw me in, give me a little taste, and then you send me on my way without knowing too much. Good
conflict, rough idea of like the genre.
Yeah.
And then ta-da. Like, how does it all work out? Like, it's very interesting. And I will say, like, I think towards the last series or whatever, like the last couple of episodes of Crash Landing on You, I was like, okay. Like, I wasn't as like gripped by it. And I think you'll notice the change. I feel like just from production, you'll just notice the change. But it is excellent. I think it's really good. One of your chat there, I think it was Pocky Girl. She said that the Crash Landing on You is a good starter for K-drama because they explain Korean culture a lot.
Oh,
totally would agree with that.
Okay.
Because essentially, like, if you think about, say, North and South Korea, and 2 people from those zones, like, interconnecting, neither of them know anything about the other's culture. So you're always getting a POV. On something. So you're always that kind of like, so when they have to explain something about Korean culture in South Korea or in North Korea, you don't feel like it's out of context because either one of those people in that situation don't understand either version. So it was very well done. I think
interesting.
Pocky Girl really nailed it there. It just it explains the culture quite a bit. So
thank you, Lisa. Very helpful. And a lot of people are saying that I don't know the ending of Goblin, so I might just have to add that to the list.
Maybe you'll have to watch that. Yeah. Also, I mean, I don't know how you feel about like horror films in general, whatever, but Korean horror films are
on point.
Another level. Yeah,
another just level.
Insane. Yeah, insane.
Huh.
Train to Busan is, I believe, one of the highest.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of the highest rated horror movies in the recent generation. Yeah.
And are you a zombie fan generally?
No, God, no. I don't do horror.
Oh, not at all? Not just games? Okay.
No.
Wow.
I'm too scared. Like, no way. Like, I'm too fucking scared. I dream about it. You know what? I'd never seen the Resident Evil films.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch these Resident Evil films. And I feel like I don't know where I was or what circumstance, but I think my husband was away, but like we weren't married at the time. I'm just gonna watch them all. And then I watched like 3 of them in a row and started like having nightmares. And it's Resident Evil films. Like they're not even scary. But I started having nightmares. I was like, you know what?
It's not for me.
I'm good.
Sounds good.
Lackadin was saying Isabel, or sorry, Lackadin, Isabel. You do horror because you play The Last of Us? I do. It's survival horror though. It's different, and it's story based. It is terrifying though.
What do you think the biggest reaction not a reaction, like from a content standpoint, but if you could pin down something that pops in your head in terms of like a big moment from a game that you remember, whether it was fear or accomplishment, like what comes to your mind first when you think of a big moment in your gaming?
What a question.
That's what I do.
Okay. There is a really great moment in The Last of Us, and you're following this character called Ish.
Okay.
But through like pickup collectibles, you don't see this character ever. And you see this in the show. They very lightly touch on it. It's very good. Mm-hmm. But there's a moment in the game, and you're in the top. Have you played this game before, Roscoe?
I've seen a little bit of it, and I own it, but I haven't played it.
Okay, highly recommend playing it. Okay, great, cool. Because I'll talk about this then, because I don't want to like again. It's a good question, but it could lead to spoilers for anybody who hasn't ever played those games.
Earmuffs,
so I'll try and keep it spoiler free.
Okay.
But this isn't really a spoiler. It's just a really cool incident that I felt like, fuck.
Yeah.
Essentially, there's a moment where you're traveling through the tunnels and you have people with you, and you find Ish's letters and all this, and then you come across an area, a room that is like filled with the skeletal remains of children.
Wow.
And they're in the tunnel, and there's no chance of escape. And either they're all going to starve in here, or the undead is basically going to come through. Like the infected are going to come through and infect all the children.
Wow.
And there's this character choice where they're like, I either have to kill everybody in here and myself, or make us all monsters.
Wow.
And suffer through being infected or eaten or worse. And there's like children paintings and stuff like that on the wall, like they've, like a nursery. That moment in that game was just so stand out, and it's so incredibly well written. As a gamer, I would highly you know what? As a director, as anybody who's interested in production, Roscoe, please go play that game. That game is just so two franchises, Uncharted and The Last of Us, changed my life.
Changed your life.
My life in terms of like gaming, right? Okay. I was always like, Crash Bandicoot, Lara Croft, all this kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Uncharted made me realize that games like this could be fun and really well written.
Yeah.
Right? Like the acting is so good. Mm-hmm. Like with things like when Nathan Drake like hits somebody, he goes, ow.
Oh yeah,
like
nice touch.
Those things. Yeah, nice touches. Or like he'll move something and be like, oh crap. Love that. Loved all of the like colloquialisms in that. Really loved the scripting of that. Thought it was good. The Last of Us came out, and I was like, this has changed my opinion on how games are acted and directed.
Yeah.
And then I fell in love with those two games. And then like because of my love for them, I got to meet them at Comic-Con, and then eventually got to work with Nolan. I still work with Nolan, and then I work with Troy, and like I know them now, and like on a personal level, and I'm like, that's awesome. Insane. Like that's just changed my life. So the two biggest moments I'd say were Death in The Last of Us, so good. And then Uncharted 4, there's a really great moment where you come across Libertalia, which is this thing that you're looking for throughout the whole game. And it's like this pirate haven.
Okay.
That essentially like ends up, I presume, like not actually being the pirate haven, but it's the pirate haven. And it's just so beautiful. Like as soon as you like come into it and you're like, wow.
You feel
like
it.
That's so cool, and then you can go like explore all the little houses, and it was just really, really cool. I really liked that moment. Those are like the two unspoilery moments, because there are bigger moments that really did have an impact, but they're spoiler based, and I wouldn't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. So
that's kind of you.
Because they're such great games, and I would love people to just play them and have that experience like the same way, so that like if there's a twist, I want everybody to be like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, you have to like experience it yourself
in the same way. Yeah. So I think those moments were pretty great. And then recently in God of War Ragnarok, there's a moment where you play as Atreus, and I didn't expect that from the game, and I was like,
Trace.
oh my god! Like halfway through, like because you play the first God of War, and it's only through the eyes of Kratos, and Atreus is your
Kratos.
companion. And then as you play the second one, there's a moment where like the POV changes and you become Atreus and you have to go. And I was like,
Wow.
the fuck? Like I couldn't
Didn't even see
believe
it
that. It's like
coming.
it was no, I had no idea.
Wow.
It was so good. But I think that's probably like the moments that stand out for me.
That's badass.
Yeah. Very good.
Wow, that was a
Anything
good
yourself
answer.
or like thanks. Like games I play are pretty intensive story based games, and I
Yeah.
really like that.
And I think, as much as I love storytelling, when it comes to the gaming aspect, I tend to lean towards the open world stuff because I like the freedom of, like, there's almost
Sure.
like a vicariousness to it. Like, as I know I'm 42 and this is ridiculous, but like, I still enjoy Minecraft from time to time.
I've never played Minecraft.
I'm not going to say you're missing much, especially if you're like into really big AAA games like The Last of Us, things like
Sure.
that. But Minecraft is like unlimited Legos and you're first person, right?
Amazing.
I mean, unlimited. Like, people have built working calculators in the game.
Just on this, did you ever see the show Survivor?
No.
The American show Survivor? No?
I know
Wow,
what it
okay.
is, but I've never
All right,
watched
right,
it.
right. Fair. Okay, so I mean, if anybody is a Survivor fan, right? Rooster Teeth, the company that, or like the media company, the gaming, whatever, they're all media company. They released a series called Survive Block Island.
Huh.
Season 1 is all I've seen, but it is so fucking good. Like they have accurately made Survivor in Minecraft.
What, like the show? The island?
The show. Yeah. Just I don't know. It's like they basically have like the players, right? They split them up on the two teams
Yeah.
and they make like obstacle courses. They make like things for it's so good. Really recommend it. So that's the only thing that I've ever seen about Minecraft. I was like, shit, me, this is really cool.
It's impressive.
It's impressive, but
Yeah.
yeah. Would recommend that. I think it was wild, and I'm a big fan of Survivor, like the series when I was
Okay.
younger. So when I watched it, I was so invested because I don't know if anybody else knows, because Survivor is all based on like your alliances and basically betraying people.
Yeah.
So it gets really the tea is hot.
Oh,
The tea is piping. It's very good.
the tea is
but
hot.
yes, sorry. So you're into Minecraft. You like Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I tend to go open world, you know, so like I do like the apocalypse kind of stuff.
Okay.
I like games where I'm not limited to a linear story where I'm being driven through the story. I want to create my own story. So like,
okay.
you know, there are
Like
some
Skyrim
games.
or Oblivion.
Yeah, basically. Or I haven't even touched it yet, but like Zelda Breath of the Wild, the first one,
Right.
haven't
Yes.
touched it. But apparently, and this one, and I guess the new one is so, like, you
It's
can
open
craft
world.
anything. It's open world. If you see a mountain, you can go to it. I want to do that. That's what I like.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Have you played Horizon Zero Dawn?
I'm going to be ashamed to say this. I think I bought it, played it for 8 minutes, and then sent it
Didn't like it.
back.
Okay, fair.
Because I think if I remember, it was so cutscene heavy that I was like, it's like I'm watching a movie that I get to play for 3 minutes and then it's another cutscene.
Right. That I would understand that. Like in the beginning of the game, it's so heavily intensive in
Okay.
cutscenes, but the actual game itself is super open world.
Gotcha.
Just
Okay.
super. Now it's not in a way that like you can go and build a house or whatever, but like
Right.
you can travel anywhere on the map. But then there's like caves and stuff that you need to go find. That part of it I actually found really addicting. I didn't enjoy the story in my personal opinion,
Okay.
but I found the gameplay quite addicting. That was kind of cool. But yeah, I just thought that was a good one.
It's amazing how gaming, like, it's literally a video game, but like, and I say video game, like, because games are they can be shit on quite a bit. You know, us as adults.
Sure.
I mean, I know, like, I'm 42, you're 23, but like we grew up with video games, right? It was a big part of our life, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
But
no questions in the chat. I will not be answering
don't
further
say
questions.
nothing. But it's like it can be frowned upon as say, oh, you play video games. That's exactly what I do. I mean, you can have life-changing moments in a video game. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, totally agree with that. My parents do not come from a gaming kind of culture.
Right.
So the whole like my parents are still convinced that my husband plays more video games than me. And I'm like,
they just don't know.
Yeah, they just don't know. They're just like, oh, he's probably off playing video games. And they're like kind of derogatory about it. And I was like, it's me though. Like,
do you not know
it's
me?
Yeah. It's not him, it's me. Yeah, it's interesting the stigma that video games have.
Yeah.
But they're so great, and they're actually like just so multifaceted, and like you can develop so many skills playing video games as well. I don't know. It's pretty great. I think it's the only thing I don't like about video games is the toxic online culture for multiplayer.
Absolutely.
Shooters. I can't ever play them. So like Valorant or Call of Duty or anything like that, like I can never play them because I don't think it gives you enough to learn for the game. I think you really do have to like put in a lot of work to learn about it, right? And then when you do learn about it and you join like random lobbies and stuff like that, you just get shit on, especially if you're a woman. So I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need the toxicity. I'm gonna play my like Last of Us, where I don't need to speak to anybody about it. So it's
because
great.
I got to imagine on these types of games, which I've never thought twice about in terms of like saying something or talking, but as soon as you open your mouth, you're a target. It has to be that way.
Yeah, it's always it's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. It's just such toxicity that I'm like, why would I bother?
That
like,
sucks.
And I actually applaud the women who do, where they're just like, I just got to keep playing because I really like the game, and I'm like, yeah, but fuck that. You know, like I would never play in an open lobby with people. I just never would. I played it once. I played once in an open lobby and it was Fortnite and an 8-year-old joined me. And I was like, thank God.
Thank God.
Like, thank God it's a child, like, and not some like crazy person who's going to shit on me throughout the game.
Yep.
Which is great. But yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, a lot of people just play muted.
You're pushed out of a whole genre of gaming, essentially.
Yeah. And it, like people just they persist, or they'll just play on mute, or they'll actually build their own like duos and stuff. Like they'll build their own team to play with, which I think is great. But just in terms of like actual random, you know what was really interesting? They did this, I think, in Australia. They had voice mods. They had professional gamers, professional like competitors, right?
Okay.
Play games like Valorant and Call of Duty, but with the voice mod. So as soon as they spoke, it would actually be a female voice, and they were like, just see how you get on.
Oh,
and
that's good.
Yeah,
and it was eye-opening.
So eye-opening. They had no idea. They had no idea that even existed.
No shit. They didn't even know.
They just didn't like, and they don't know the extent until you're at the other end of it. You just don't know the extent of like how they can try and like carry you. No, look, they're all baseless. They're all fucking the same unoriginal bullshit. Like, go make me a sandwich, and you're like,
like boring. Come up with some new shit, bro.
Yeah. And as soon as some of the girls turn it back, it is so funny to watch them lose their shit so quickly. Because the girls will be like, "Oh, is that because you can't reach the counter?" It's okay, sweetie. Do you need anything else from there? Like, we love a short king. It's fine. And they're just like, "I'm not fucking short, man." And they go off. Like, it's crazy. It's so interesting to see like the toxic twist, and they just lose their shit. It's funny.
Lulu, she's calling you out. I see you. Yeah, Lulu and JoJo, they are my Call of Duty players, both of them.
Very good.
And I'm imagining, because I know them well enough to know that they're brutal. When those female voices come through the chat, forget it. It's too funny.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't love about games is like the toxic culture behind it. But mostly all the games that I do enjoy happen to be games that are linear, and there's really no multiplayer about it. The only multiplayer that I do play often is Overwatch, and that's just because I have friends who play it, and they're like, "Hey, do you want a game?" I'm like, "Yeah." I would never go into Overwatch just playing Overwatch.
Right.
But if they invite me to a game, I'm like, "Yeah, I'll play that."
Is that as fast paced and chaotic as like? Oh, it is.
As it seems, yeah.
Oh, jeez,
Yeah.
forget it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
And like, especially when you get like, if you go against a team that are really good players, sometimes players will basically smurf it, and essentially there'll be higher level players that create new accounts.
Wow.
That have zero statistics, so they're really good players, and it's unfortunate because it makes the game unenjoyable for players who are actually at the level that we are. So that can be annoying, but as soon as that happens, because they're so quick. They're just so quick and they're brutal. And they're just winning everything like within minutes.
Well, what's the purpose of doing that if they have to create new accounts?
I guess ego. There's no real point to it. Like, and the problem is like they will likely reach a level where they're going into games and not winning.
Gotcha. Ego.
So they're like, fuck's sake. So then they create new profiles with no stats so that every game they're playing, they're winning.
That's so
pathetic. That doesn't make you a better player.
No.
That makes you a shit.
That makes you a loser. That's pathetic.
Yeah. So unfortunately that happens. But that happens with everything. Valorant, it happens with Overwatch, Call of Duty, anything that's like that. If you play ranked anything.
Yeah.
People will game the system of ranked.
Wow. I didn't even know that was like a thing.
Yeah, it is technically cheating, but there's just no real big harsh rule on it or anything like that. Like this, your account could probably get deleted, but they'll just make a new account.
Yeah, just do it all over again anyway.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a bit upsetting, but annoying. But
well, it sounds like it works out for you because like you're already happy with your types of games and you're not really dealing with that shit anyway, so you win.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like anytime I want to play online, I want to play with people I know.
Yeah.
So like if I play Among Us, I'll put together Among Us lobby, or I'll play like, Overwatch, but I'll just call my friends who play Overwatch regularly. So I just kind of know the same. So I'm not interested in those games anyway without like people to play with. If I had a Valorant lobby, I would just play with them. I just wouldn't play it on my own. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably because I'm shit.
Which I doubt.
Yeah, I'm pretty shit. Like, yeah. No, I am. I'm really bad at like shooter games. I just panic. I end up panicking and then shoot the floor or the sky.
Okay.
And then I end up dead. Yeah. Oh, literally, I just panic. And I'm like, oh my God. And then it ends up like spinning around in a circle. And I feel bad for my teammates then. So I'm like, I don't want to play.
Which, as long as they're not around you, you should be fine. Like, just kill everything else.
Yeah, and usually there's no friendly fire, but I die. And then there's a teammate down. I'm like, no, I'm sorry about that.
Sorry about that. Yeah, they're just walking you through, carrying you.
Yeah, it's a hard carry. A hard carry. Whenever I'm on a team, just know. Like, you're going to have to carry me.
Yep, I'm just here for moral support.
Yeah.
Have you ever met somebody from a video game that you met through the game and then you met them in real life?
No.
Never.
Because I don't play online.
Oh, so really, like you've never been an online player really at all?
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
no. So the only person that comes close to that is my friend Dan, and we met through a YouTube channel called Retro Replay at the time. It's now called Couch Soup, but it was called Retro Replay at the time, and we were just in the chat, and I joined the Discord.
Okay.
And I said, I've never played online with anybody. And he said, hey, do you have Borderlands? Like, do you have a thing? So I had Xbox, and he was like, it's free on Xbox Game Pass. Do you want to play? And I was like, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
And then we got online in that same gameplay. We got on so well. We were like, we should start a podcast. And then the next day he sent me a message on Discord and was like, were you serious? Because maybe we should.
That's
and
what started it all.
Let's go. Yeah. And then we had a podcast. We had a podcast called the Replayer Podcast, and it went for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I've never met Dan in person. He was living in New York, and now he lives in Texas. But yeah, that's probably the closest that I've come to like developing a friendship online. And then through like the Retro Replay / Couch Soup community, I've got loads of friends. Here, Beth is in my chat. Like, she's from the Retro Replay community as well, and Relator community. And like it's interesting. Like, I didn't have a gaming online experience, but I had it through a YouTube experience.
Yeah. But it's wild. Like so you've never met most of these people face to face, right?
No.
But I have to imagine, like, I can say with some of my people, I've never met them and I might never actually meet them, but I'm closer with some of them than my actual, like, coworkers or
real life friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, I felt that way with Dan for ages. Like, Dan and I ran a
Yeah.
podcast every week. We were just chatting, and I left the podcast because of, like, I just got too busy.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, it's like, oh man, I should, text him and see how he is and how's he doing. And we're still through the community of Couch Soup and stuff like that, and we have, like, monthly Q&As and monthly meetings anyway through that community.
That's good.
So I'm still in touch with everybody there.
Yeah.
Like, but they're just so great. They're such good people. Like, everybody in that community is just so lovely, and
That's
such a
awesome.
wide variety of talent in that community. Like,
Yeah.
writers, directors, content creators, writers, like actual, like, articles or reviewers and journalists and stuff. So it's really nice.
That's a hell of a community.
Excuse me. Yeah, this is the worst. Why is this Coke doing this to me?
I was going to say, you've been like all ladylike for so long. I'm waiting for this thing, this monster to come out of you.
No, I never do. I never do. Unless, like, I'm in my own home privately with no microphones. It's all good. But I used to mute myself on, like, live streams stuff. I still do. I still mute myself.
Yep.
And one of my friends from the community called me out and was like, did you just mute yourself? And I was like, yeah. Because I don't want that to be on, like, the podcast, or I don't want that to be on the live stream. Like, I can't help it. Unfortunately, it'd just be too complicated for me to mute here. I can mute it for my own stream, but not for your stream. I'd have to go in there and mute it.
See, I have an actual physical button that I press.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I tell you what, like, I made the joke one day. I was like, you guys don't understand. I need this button. If I didn't have this button, you would all have disowned me a long time ago. The things
Y'all
that
be
are
hearing some
coming
shit.
Literally.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate me. Yeah.
Literally.
So I've been waiting for this massive man belch to come out of you for what's now 2.5 hours that we've been talking.
You'll never see it. You'll never know.
We'll see about that. The challenge has been accepted. How to get Pagan to burp on stream.
So funny. My grandmother once was like, my mom bursts, like, really loud, and, like, I feel like sometimes I can, but, like, maybe in the last couple of years I just haven't. Like, I'm just very more conservative about them. But my grandmother was once in we were visiting over at my aunt's house, and my grandmother was there, and my boyfriend, who's now my husband, was also with us, but my grandmother just forgot, and she was, like, in the sitting room, and she just let out this big massive belch, and I just went, Nana, and she looked at me and she went, what? And I was like, Adam? And she's like, she didn't realize that he was still here. Like, she had forgotten that he was with me. Oh,
and now so he's funny. Family.
He is family. And that was the day he was like, I'm going to marry this lady.
Yep, that's it.
So I can be a part of this wild bunch of ladies.
Because he knows the direction that you're going. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, you know what I mean?
And then he's in it for the long haul.
He's in it for the long haul. Yeah.
Oh, man.
He sure is. Yeah.
That's
How long have you been with your partner? Is that too personal on stream, actually? I just realized that we're still alive.
No.
Still alive.
I've been married to Annie for it'll be 21 years.
That's so lovely.
Yeah. She's
nice.
My buddy.
Were you together long before you got married?
No, as a matter of fact, I was in the military when we met.
Really?
I was kind of local with her when we met for about 3 months. We did a long distance relationship for about 6 months. I was deployed for 6 months. And then once I came back and got out of the military, that's when we got married. So we were together dating-ish and engaged for about 1.5 years, I think.
Okay.
And then it was game on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you'll see the chat is referring to her as Fert.
Fert?
Because when I first started streaming, I wasn't sure if I should say her name because she's a hell of a lot more private than I am. Clearly.
Right.
The shit that I have told you today, right?
Yeah,
She's a lot
fair.
more conservative and private. So in the beginning, instead of saying Annie, I would say, hey, I got to be quiet because Fert is sleeping. And that's where it came from.
That's a great sound effect.
And now it's like, now I refer to her as the Kool-Aid man. Like if it's 4 a.m. and I'm streaming and I'm loud like this, I guarantee the Kool-Aid man is coming through that wall. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. I definitely had that once before. Unfortunately, I was like last minute called into a stream. Last minute. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And it was at a time zone that wasn't effective for my time zone. It was like 4 a.m. in the morning. And my husband opened the door, and thank God, like everything was muted. And I think we were in the middle of a transition anyway. And my husband came through the door and he was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "I'm so sorry." Like, because my office is actually attached to our bedroom.
Okay.
Like the wall is attached to our bedroom, and it's like a freaking. It's like it might as well be paper.
Yeah.
Honestly, it might as well be freaking paper, and it is so thin. And I've tried to like mute the sound a little bit with these foam paddings, but honestly, they're not gonna. I'm just gonna rip them off the wall. Yeah. There's no point in having them. They don't make any difference. But now I think because of the fact that I'm different time zones, stuff like that as well. Like I'm way more considerate. So if it's like, hey, do you want to jump on a live stream at 4 a.m.? I'll be like, yes, but I have to be muted. Or yes, but let me check. Like I'm kind of a little bit more considerate now instead of just being like, yeah, why not?
I say yes to everything.
Yeah, exactly. But he's gotten so much more like understanding about everything as well. Not that he wasn't in the beginning. It was just more that like he's, I think, more accustomed to the fact now that I work on different time zones. So sometimes I stream at 2 a.m. But like randomly, I don't actually run my own streams. I don't run my own content at those times. If I'm called into somebody else's stream, like just randomly, and I want to take the opportunity to join that, then I will. Okay. And I don't think it'll affect him. I'll just keep quiet.
Just actually be quiet, right?
Yeah, I'll just be quiet, or like when I'm talking, I can be very loud, especially if I'm playing games that are like scary and anything like that. My God, I get loud in here, my poor neighbors. So so then if I'm playing something or something like that, I just have to really make a conservative effort to be like, okay.
Have you had any hiccups? Like
no, but like definitely, like my neighbors just moved in and they knocked on the door the other day and they were like, hey, we have construction going on. I hope that's okay. Like, I just want to let you know that it might be going on during the day. And I was like, geez, thank you so much for letting me know. Also, by the way, I was like, I'm a streamer and I will scream. It's not like, it must sound so weird. Like it must sound so weird next door. Like the amount I scream must feel like bloody murder. And I feel like my husband's low-key embarrassed, being like, they're gonna think like I'm abusing you or something.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Crazy. Yeah. And I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't even think about that. So when he came over, I was like, by the way, I'm a streamer. I was like, if you are ever concerned about a sound you hear from here, you can check the Twitch. I was like, if I'm live on Twitch, I'm obviously live. Now, if you're concerned about something and I'm not live, you can check on me then.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Just in case, I was like, this is my live, and you can choose to follow if you want. Like, I'm just letting you know that if there's some weird sounds happening over here, you can just be like, oh, Pagan must be live. So I haven't had any like weird mishaps like that, but I've not had anything. Yeah, it's definitely happened because like in the height of summer, this room can get very warm. So I've had to stream with them.
The windows open.
With the windows open. Yeah. And I feel awful because as soon as I scream, I catch myself. Yeah. And my husband's like, why do you scream? Like, can you not just keep it down? And I was like, yeah, but you don't understand. Like, I don't control that. Like, that's just an initial reaction.
It's not me.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob.
Oh, Calatra's the same. Calatra said the same in my chat. She said I warned my neighbor because I'm like, hey, sorry, I play a lot of horror, but I'm a baby.
Have to explain that.
Yeah, you just kind of have to give it a little contingency, and they're new neighbors, so I might as well.
Yeah,
they extended the courtesy to me. I might as well just be like, hey, let me tell you something.
Just a heads up.
Just a heads up.
That's good.
Yeah. Awkward moments. Yeah, but look, it's grand.
My buddy Rob's in. Rob is my AD, actually.
Really?
And I was telling him yesterday, actually. He's like, hey, man, what do you got scheduled for the weekend? I said, well, I'm terrified. Let me tell you why. So I told him all about that. He was like, hey, man, you'll be good. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Am I that intimidating?
Oh, God, yes. Are you kidding? See? You broke my microphone again.
Oh God, yes. All right.
Well, what
Yeah.
was funny was
Take care, Beth.
when
Sorry.
you agreed to do it, I had said like, yeah, bro, I'm nervous, you know, because like I did this one with Gino before, and it was kind of a mess, and I don't want to look like a bozo. And his response was, well, dude, she's a streamer just like you. Like shit happens, it's fine. So
Yeah,
I end
it's
up
live
pulling you up, right, to show like, here, this is Pagan. Well, that was a mistake. Because then I saw like the IMDb page and like the couch soup, and I was like, holy shit, like she's the real deal. And I'm already locked in. I'm going to look like a complete moron for 2 hours. And then I felt terrible because all my nightmares were coming true because nothing was working. And you were like, hey, it's fine. You're good.
Don't panic. It's all good.
See, and Rob can test like, all true. That's exactly what happened.
Nah, all good, all good. Yeah, live stream is just like, it is what it is. And if I'm honest, I had to learn that the hard way. I was pulled into live streams for a Get Good, which was on Couch Soup.
Okay.
With some amazing people. Todd Lassance, Liam McIntyre, look them up. They're amazing. Just wonderful Australian buddies. I just had such a really good connection with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they were great crack. But at the time, we were using a software called Lightstream.
Okay.
And listen, I wasn't a fan of this Lightstream service. I didn't condone the Lightstream service. I was like, you should be using OBS. But anyway, there was no service to basically share, and I still haven't found one, share 2 gameplays at the same time. So that when so for example, if 2 people were playing Call of Duty and you want to swap between the 2 POVs, you can't. Like, it seems almost impossible to do that on a streaming service. So this was the best way to do that. So they were using this system, and then I was the intern at the time, and I had just sort of learned about the system and learned how to use it and everything. And then there was this charity stream that was coming up, and they were going to rotate like 8 people for the first hour or whatever, and then different 8 people for the second hour or whatever. And I was like, cool. Now, in my defense, I did say we should test run this. Like, we should test run it on this software because I know how it works. I'm familiar with the software, but the software is sometimes shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think like we should just test run it. Whatever happened, whatever transpired. I think the guys were just too busy or something, and we never got to do a test run. And then all these beautiful, amazing people came on for this charity stream, and it was the biggest fuck up I've ever experienced. And it all looked like my fault because I was live producing the stream. Yeah, and I was like, it's so unfortunate because basically everything looks fine on my screen for the system. The output to YouTube looked like it was on crack.
Yeah.
I don't know what cameras were everywhere. There was overlays, there was all this kind of stuff. Oh no, I got follow botted, I think.
Uh-oh.
Did I get follow botted?
I can't. I can only see my stuff because I'm the new guy.
There's no way that like maybe not. Maybe I think maybe you know what I think it is. I think that was sus. I mean, that was sus. I think Twitch or sorry, my phone's ringing. Twitch or Streamlabs has just maybe had a delay.
So there's a wave came through.
Yeah, a wave came through. Unsure. Maybe we can keep an eye on that, Amelia. She's my moderator in chat. Sorry. So it all looked like it was my fault. I was devastated. I was like, oh God. And essentially what was happening was basically like, sorry, Sharon in your chat has asked me what a follow bot on Twitch. Essentially what happens is, so sorry, for context, on Twitch, what a follow bot is basically a bot that is sent to your channel that like raises your followers, right? By like thousands. And it's technically gaming the system. I have no control over that. That's not me. The only way to like get rid of that, I guess, is like to end it, but I would have to report that to Twitch and it would just have to see it. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that, Amelia, because it's nothing to do with me. Like, I shouldn't get in trouble for it, but I could potentially, if people think if it's me.
You're behind it, right.
But yeah, exactly. So somebody can just basically bot, and then all of these fucking bot accounts just follow you for no reason. Now, that could be not a follow bot. It could be that someone is on Twitch and happen to be reacting to my stream or is potentially planning a raid and then people come in
Mm,
pre-raid
okay.
and start following, or somebody's mentioned me somewhere else and my Twitch link got listed somewhere and people are clicking that.
Okay.
So let's keep an eye on it for now anyway, Amelia. So anyway, so this looked like it was all my fault. It was big YouTubers and big streamers, and one of them was Alana Pierce, and I was so embarrassed because I really wanted to meet her. It was my first time ever meeting her, and I was like, I'm so fucking
It's
embarrassed.
over. Yeah.
And it just crashed, right? There was like 8 people. It was like the limit for this software, plus a screen share, and then it was going nightmare. And I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. Like it just doesn't want to work for me. And I think people could see the panic on my face because it just looked like it was my fault, but I was like, it's really not. Like, I wish I could share my screen with you. I can see everything. I was like, and what I'm trying to do is like, I'm trying to upload it. I'm trying to like, those bots are keep coming in. If that happens, basically what I'll do is I'll just end my Twitch stream, but we'll still be live here on YouTube, so it's fine.
Okay.
Amelia, let's keep an eye on it. Maybe Amelia, if you can do me a favor and check the follows that have just come in, just check the accounts that have just followed and see if they're bots. And that'd be great. Yeah, so basically, I was just really nervous, really horrible, happy times were not had. So much so that like the first group of people, like essentially had to just leave without even playing a game. Like they were just there, and people could only see they could only hear the audio. They could only like it was really hard. It was a mess, a fucking mess. And I was kicking myself because the day before I was like, right, we're not going to get to test run this.
Yeah.
What I should do is make a backup plan for like OBS or something. Like maybe I should just make a backup plan.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to a friend and my friend was like, you're panicking. You're fine. Like really, like don't stress yourself. You won't have time to make a backup. Like you'll be okay. And I was like, right, yeah. And I didn't. And I freaked out.
Have you gotten rid of that friend?
Yeah, I was like, you bastard. But so I freaked out, whatever. And that was a horrible thing. But you know what? Like, it's live. Shit happens. Like, unfortunately, just circumstance on circumstance on circumstance happened and it didn't work. And the thing is, with live, that could have all gone fine.
Yeah.
You know, had the software been working fine that day, everything would have just been grand. So it just happens. And I feel like you just have to roll with the punches with that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter anyway, because I made some really good connections from that stream. Regardless, I think people understood that maybe it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
And I now work for Alana, and I know a few of those people now that joined our live stream and that like had connected with me on Twitter, and they were all super nice and so happy about it. And like I just felt so embarrassed. But I think the best thing with live streams is you just have to roll with the punches. It's completely live. Anything can happen. Yeah. I think I'm getting follow butted.
Oh, they're getting you, huh? Well, I mean, we've been going for nearly 3 hours now. I mean, we can close it out. I mean, I really expected for us to be like live for an hour. We'll just chit chat, have a drink, and then, but we can do this again sometime. Or if you want to sit and watch a KDrama, whatever you want to do.
I would love that. Or even like the Run BTS stuff. What I'll do right now is just a quick message for anybody watching on my Twitch channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I am going to end the stream because it seems like we're getting follow botted. Usually bots will just go away. Like after a certain amount of days, those bots just drop off. Like Twitch recognizes at the end of the month what are bot accounts and they delete them. So, but I don't want to get in trouble for Twitch. I'm not gaming the system. It's fully public here on YouTube, on Twitch, and on YouTube. Yeah, feel free to go over to YouTube. I'll actually link Roscoe's YouTube. Hold on one second.
Oh, I'll do yours.
And we'll just go over there and I'll end my stream here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Take this with you. Bye. All right, cool. I've just ended my Twitch stream because it definitely did seem like I was getting follow botted.
Okay.
But yeah, there's actually no purpose for follow botting. It doesn't seem like it's a thing that has any functionality other than to stress out the streamer and to potentially get them like flagged for quote unquote gaming, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's weird.
So people just send them. I don't know. It makes no sense to send a bot like that, but it doesn't matter. It happens.
Yeah. I could see people paying for that kind of service, but to just do it arbitrarily is very strange.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's a little weird, but it is what it is. Don't worry about it. Gotta roll with punches. With Twitch, it can be much worse as well. You could get like hate botted. You can get like, hate rated. You can get all that kind of stuff there too. So Twitch live streaming, live streaming anywhere is really a gamble. So
yeah,
I don't mind it as long as like Twitch know, or maybe there's a way to report it. Although I believe there isn't a way to report it. But I just confirmed with the moderator. She was just checking out all the accounts and says it looks like they're all they're all bots all created maybe like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, all the accounts would be very recently created, like created yesterday, created 5 minutes ago, created a few hours ago. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, it does look like they are all bot accounts. It is a bummer, but well.
I was hoping that clearly my fame and notoriety had just pushed over into your channel.
Hey, maybe it did, and I'm overreacting. But they can still follow outside of me being live, so that's all right. Like, if they still want to, they can. But yeah, I'll see if there's a way. But I believe when it happened to a friend of mine, they couldn't report it to Twitch. But what happens is at the end of every month, Twitch usually do like a clear out. So that's why your Twitch followers can fluctuate so much. Is that they'll identify what are bot accounts, and they'll delete them.
Yeah.
So don't mind. We're almost at the end of the month anyway. So all geez.
All good.
Yeah, all geez.
That's
like
awesome.
Listen. That's live streaming. You know, we were just talking about it. It happens on live. Yeah.
That's why we drink.
Cheers. Sláinte.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But there you go.
Pagan, this has been so much fun.
I loved this. This was wonderful.
Thanks for hanging out with me. Like I said, I even told my wife, I was like, hey, I'll probably be live for an hour. We're just going to chit chat and then I'll be done. We'll get some food or something. She's probably scratching at the door.
She's starving. Oh my God. This woman baby. Is so hungry.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And we blame Pagan. That's my next
honestly,
t-shirt.
You can. I am like a motor mouth. I don't stop.
Are you
talking.
Kidding?
So I feel like very quickly you must have regretted this decision.
Oh God, no!
Like,
see, I had felt
15
bad.
Minutes, you're like, you know what?
No. I'm like, I haven't
Next time,
shut
mods,
up
if
once.
you're suggesting someone, maybe.
Not this one. Yeah. No, this was awesome.
This was
thank
wonderful.
you for helping
really
me
enjoyed my time.
get through everything. Because, I mean,
You're
as
welcome.
my people know, it's always a mess. I'm pushing buttons. Shit's popping up. It's on fire back there. But you've been super awesome.
You know? Yeah. No, it's fun. It is fun. And like sometimes live streaming is just about that. You know, you just gotta roll with the punches.
Roll with the flow.
You gotta roll with the punches. And no, I appreciate you even asking me. That was so lovely. And I've been aware of your channel. You know what? Funny enough, people had mentioned your channel because I had done a Beat Saber video for the Fall Out Boy songs.
Oh yeah.
And then I realized after reacting to K-pop, I was like, holy shit, there's a BTS soundtrack thing. And there's a whole Tiny Tan on Beat Saber, and they were like, "Oh my God, you should check out Roscoe's videos." And that was the first time you'd been mentioned in my chat, and I was like,
okay,
yeah,
nice,
I will.
Very
and you
cool.
happen to be streaming, raising money.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah,
it was so good.
You know what? I actually have a charity stream coming up in July at some point as well for like a stand up to cancer. So maybe I'll reach out to you and we can do something cool. We could watch
absolutely.
I run BTS or something cool and try and raise some money to help prevent cancer or help treatment with cancer. It would be great.
Let me know how I can help, and I'm all in.
Yeah, I would love that.
Do you have a link or something you want to throw in the chat? Link tree or your Twitch or whatever.
Oh,
you want to do?
a link tree. Wow, look at you with the link tree.
I don't mess around. I'm professional, damn it.
Listen, that's a good one. Sure, I'll put that in the chat. That's my link tree, I guess. That's my everything. Yeah, this is quite a lot. This probably needs to be updated, to be fair, but look, it's there. It's grand.
Well,
but yeah, thank you.
Chat,
this has been so wonderful.
Yeah,
thanks for having a chat.
Good little community, and you've got your people, and now it'll be a little families growing. So fun. And I will say I am extremely happy that my expectations of chatting with you were tenfold just blown away. You are lovely. You're a great conversationalist. You don't blush. You've been burping and cussing through the whole thing. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
So like unladylike. I'm so sorry, chap.
Please.
It's the rum and coke, okay? I don't know and I was drinking last night. That's probably where that all is from. I'm usually not. No, I am actually though. I am actually always like this. No, I just have like the mouth of a sailor. I wish it was better, but sometimes it just isn't. Oh, well.
I get it. I'm a Marine, so I get it. It's all good.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
In Ireland, we use we just use them to fill gaps, just the curse words to fill gaps in conversations.
Yeah. I just sit there and I make no noise and then I go, fuck. Why did I even say that? It doesn't matter.
I'm saying.
I get it.
But yeah, thanks so much. And thanks everybody in the mods and who joined me on Twitch and who are joining in Roscoe's YouTube. Thank you guys.
And thank you, mods, as well in chat. And again, Pagan is an absolute professional, consummate professional all day. She's chatting with people. She's chatting with me. She's burping. She's having a good time. And I'm literally locked into the camera and completely ignoring the chat. So, chat, thank you for being flexible. And Pagan, thank you so much for your time. I will absolutely be reaching out to you again.
Please, yes, and the same. I would love to reach out to you again, even if it's for like games or something. We don't have to.
Absolutely, sure. So why don't you take this before you go?
Look at that, and the boop boop boop.
Hey!
Right. Bye, look at us go. All right, everybody.
Look out for each other. See ya.